we go. Broadcasting live, this is KMA Talk Radio. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of fine cigars. With your hosts, Honest Abe and Adam K. the Brewmeister. Listen to the show anywhere in the free world at KMATalkRadio.com.
I like to smoke them like some Winston Churchill, like John Kennedy, yeah. Remember Coach Red Auerbach, smoked up for victory, yeah. Well, you can take my wife, you can take my car, but you can't take my big cigar. My cigar.
Good morning, loyal listeners, libertarians, lovers of the leaf, and everyone out there in Radio Land. Welcome to another exciting edition of KMA Talk Radio, broadcasting live here in lovely South Florida. I am Adam K. the Brewmeister. With me, of course, as always, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Honest Abe.
Good morning.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Good afternoon.
Right?
Afternoon.
I feel like it's
Well,
afternoon already.
Abe just walked in the door. So that's why I said that. That's what my bosses have always said to me when I'm a few minutes late.
I actually was kind of exactly on time.
I mean, I know our guest Jack said that, but you technically were 30 seconds after
Was it?
after the 6 minute hour. Yeah.
You want to be
You want
exact?
to bet $1 on that?
No.
I don't think he does. No, probably not going to happen.
I tell you what, though. You know, it's one of those mornings, literally like 20 lights. I mean, like every light. When you're late, like when you're running behind, every light in the universe catches you. It's like ridiculous.
It's funny because I had the exact opposite thing happen to me this morning. I hit no lights coming
when
here.
And
we come from almost the same place.
When you're running on time, that's the way it works. And not only do I have every light, I have every idiot driver that was on the road in front of me to boot.
No. I had an entire road blocked on my way and had to be detoured.
Where?
At Lantana, just south of Congress, was completely shut down.
At Lantana? How do you come here?
Lantana to 95.
Why don't you take Southern? I guess Lantana's closer. All right, yeah.
Yeah, it's too far. Why would I go to Southern? I have to go to 441.
Because Southern's fast. It's like a highway.
Yeah, it's
you
fast,
you
but
do like 80 on Southern.
We just lost every listener that's not in the Palm Beach area.
Yeah.
See, now he's mad at me.
I'm mad at you. You always think I'm mad at you. He walks in the office yesterday for our pre-meeting. He's like,
I did.
"Are you mad at me?" Dude, why would I be mad at you? He's like, I don't want you to get some kind of complex.
He always thinks that. He's texting me all the time about that.
You?
He's like, I'm gonna get fired.
I texted Adam yesterday.
Fired.
At least I know that there's a 50% chance I'm going to get fired every time I go into a meeting. So.
Why?
I don't know.
Paranoia.
I'm serious.
No, you're off the hook, man.
Listen,
like you're never
if
predictable.
He hasn't gotten fired in the 10 years he's worked for me.
It's only 9.
It's a mere impossibility for you. I mean, really.
You know, we had a rep like that. A rep like every time you'd go travel with him, he'd pick you up at the airport and he'd say, "Are you here to fire me?" He was that paranoid.
Yeah,
and then one day he was right.
Oh, he was.
Well, I mean, listen.
He wrote his own destiny.
I mean, if that's the way you are, sooner or later you're going to be right. I mean, odds are you're going to be right one day. You know.
So,
yes, those of you listening, Jack Toraño is here from Espinosa Cigars.
And?
National Sound Member. And our special guest.
Special guest? No. Our special correspondent, man. He's not a guest. He's a correspondent. He's a KMA correspondent. You see him downplay you, man?
What can I say?
just reading off the script that someone wrote.
He has more KMA gear on than you do.
This is true.
Well, I
also
get me a new cap.
I also don't own a hat, so yeah.
Oh, why would you cover those beautiful bangs?
I know, right?
I have a couple sleeves of them in the back of the car if you'd like one.
I'm okay. Thanks.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to get him to wear one. He wore one at the Great Smoke, briefly. And then he took it. He's like, "This looks stupid."
That's pretty much how he sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Paul.
Hey, did you guys see the picture that Coop posted yesterday of himself?
I'm telling you.
You were a stud.
There's a big movement for the facial hair to come back.
Yeah.
There's a big,
with the giant shirt.
Well, you know.
Well, that was the style back then.
He knew he'd grow into it.
right. Well, look, my day job right now, it's not practical. Maybe at some point it returns, the facial hair, but yeah.
Facial hair is not practical for
What do you
your
work
day
at Disney
job?
World?
Yeah, exactly. What are you, a surgeon?
You can't have facial hair in your day job?
It's not appropriate, yeah, I'll just say that.
For real?
For real, yeah.
Now, is this...
It's not a rule. No, it's not a rule.
I was going to say, is this an actuality or is this just like a Coop perception?
More of a Coop perception.
Okay, there you go.
I'll be honest with you.
All right, okay. Yeah, we can ignore that.
Understood.
All right, so he's got psychoses too. Good to know.
Yeah, we're all a little bit. Listen, it's the Jack Toraño show. Psychosis is going to be a specialty. It's going to be a
They psychoanalyzed Hector last night on Smoke Night Live. Did you see that?
Yeah,
I didn't catch it, man. You
I
know,
didn't either. I fell asleep.
Well, you know.
Well, we usually do too. No, just kidding.
I had to give wife some time last night, so wifey we had some time. So
Oh, did you do like a date night?
yeah, like an in-house date night. You know,
With the
sometimes-
kids there?
No, they go to bed.
Oh,
You know,
all right.
had a little date night afterwards.
Did you like light candles and make it all romantic?
Yes,
Like,
gave her a nice massage on our massage table. It was a nice night.
you have a massage table in your house?
Actually, yes, my wife bought it for me for my birthday, maybe about 4 or 5 years ago.
So that when massage people come over, they don't have to bring their
Well,
own.
I'm not a normal sized dude, man. So like,
Oh,
you know,
that's true. I didn't think of that.
Yeah,
I didn't think of that.
it's a pretty.
Oh, so you
hefty-
can't get on those folding ones.
Let's just say I don't want to buy any more new tables. Let's put it that way.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, I have my own heavy duty massage table, folding massage table. It's a folding table, man. It's like huge.
Is there a weight limit to it?
Yeah, it's more than me.
Is it more than Nimish and Sokka?
Paul with always the poignant questions. You know.
I just want to know. I don't know. Like,
Well, next time you're over, we'll let you see
I'm
it.
trying
I'll let
to
you
figure
play.
out-
I'll let you play with it next time you're over.
I'm trying to figure out how detailed he wants you to get with his evening.
Embarrassing amount of detail.
it's
he
not
loves.
embarrassing. And then when the romantic night is over, right?
Oh my God.
You guys, you go and sleep on the couch. That's my whole thing. Like you have this beautiful romantic night, and then you go to sleep on the couch. That's
Okay.
basically the end of the night, right?
Thank you.
Thank you, Colin. Yes, that's exactly what everyone in all of America was thinking at the
Well, this
exact
got
same
awkward
time.
quick.
Yeah, well,
Let's-
it's only awkward for him, really.
It's not awkward for me at all. I'm just, inquisitive.
He
Inquiring
just
minds
doesn't
want
know
to know.
when to stop.
Look at the Facebook chat. People want to know.
I highly doubt that. I will not be getting on the Facebook. Thank you. Thank you for that.
The Facebook. That's what he calls it.
The
On
Facebook.
Facebook.
But or the book face is also my other
So how
favorite
was your
one.
drive in, Coop?
Well, I had to drive around. Actually, I had to drive around the hurricane
Really?
because normally I'd go down I-95, but one of the roads leading to I-95 was an evacuation route from the beach, which was getting hit. So it was one way. So I had to go through Atlanta, which is a much longer drive.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I like Atlanta.
it's dealing with the traffic stuff there.
Yeah,
No,
the
I
traffic
mean-
is very difficult.
Yeah,
So you could get from Charlotte to like Tampa in one day, and it's too much to make it all the way down here in one shot.
I was watching your episode with Nick the other day. Was that in the humidor? Were you filming that in the
He
humidor?
actually has that set up in his lounge now.
Oh, he does now.
Yeah, so
Okay.
he has a display thing outside his lounge.
Is that open display to the whole room?
It's open to the whole
Okay.
room, yeah. And then there's the humidor that he's got the whole Perdomo humidor
Right.
in there.
That's what it looked like. You
Yeah.
guys were in for a
Yeah.
second.
Yep.
No, it was a very nice episode.
No, thank you. They were very hospitable to me there as well. Considering we did have a technical issue, they were very patient too.
Really?
Yeah, we had a
Technical issue. Go figure.
Yeah, go figure, right? You think you have everything tested though, and what happens? We go to dinner, we come back, it doesn't work. So
Of course.
Yeah.
Always.
I feel
Always.
I feel your pain, Coop.
Yes.
I know how it is.
Yes.
yeah, but I can't blame unfortunately, I don't have Paul.
I can't blame a producer. That's what he was gonna say.
Yeah, that was,
I blame him all the time.
yeah, exactly.
So.
This is why we have him. He's a punching bag.
But you didn't get hit by the hurricane then at all.
No, Charlotte. Yeah, we're pretty far inland right now. But you guys canceled the show last week because it looks like you've rebuilt here, by the way, after the storm, right? Right? I mean,
Yeah, they see the walls are coming down.
I mean,
No.
yeah. It was,
Some storage
Well,
damage here.
I mean, no one knew where it was going and everything, and then we couldn't. The studios didn't have the staff. There were people here because everybody was going to board up and prep. That was really the main problem.
yeah.
Yeah.
We had talked with Alec and Bradley like the day before, like, we're game. If you're game, you got to come from Miami. We don't know what's going on, and they wanted to do it too.
Alex said to me, he goes, "We're Floridians, man. This doesn't phase us." So he said, "We don't mind." But
it really doesn't, man. I mean, it's just more of an inconvenience and a hassle than it is anything.
Until you go through Hurricane Ann.
I know, Jack, but you're living in the
More of it.
past. I mean, and they don't build. I mean, it's been a couple decades now. They don't build. Nothing's built like that anymore. I mean, you can't build a playground without that slide taking 180-mile-an-hour winds these days. I mean, nothing's flying around. It's just the
yeah, everything's concrete block and
Yeah, I mean,
mostly
the times
impact
have
windows.
changed. Everything here. This is not an old town. Everything here is new, built new. All in windows are pretty much impact windows. You can't build a home in the last decade without it being pure impact windows. It's the hassle.
Yeah, my house was built right before they started mandating impact windows.
okay.
So I still have shutters.
Do you have one floor or two floor?
One floor, thank
Okay,
God.
because what happens was there was a period in between where the second floors had to be.
Oh, that's funny because some houses in the neighborhood next to us, I popped in. I did see that the
house I lived in before, the second floor windows that they built were all hurricane resistant, but you had to shutter the bottom. The first
right,
floor.
the top floor is not covered, but the bottom floor had. Yeah. I saw that on a couple of houses.
There was a period where they didn't fully mandate it, but I guess contractors were like, well, we're going to make these houses a little more convenient just through the top floor, you know, and it's just stupid phase. But
it's expensive to do it if you don't have it, though. It's not a cheap investment.
But that's the problem. It's the hassle. It's the people running out of water, the gas, the going nuts, and then the electric and the stuff going down. You know, I mean, that's pretty much most of the hassle is post-hurricane. So, I mean, I've been here 23 years. We've had a couple. We have one that literally the eye went right over Jupiter. I was living in Jupiter, which was kind of really weird, man.
It was almost going to happen this time.
I think I've been through the eye twice.
Yeah.
Twice since I've lived here. And it's
definitely during Francis. During Francis, the eye was definitely right over us.
Francis, I'm trying to remember where I was living. I was still living in my first house here, but that could have been the second one.
For this area, Francis was probably the most devastating in years.
04.
And Francis was what, a 2 or a 3, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't married. You know, we were in that house probably. Francis was
Well,
the first
wasn't Wilma pretty big?
Yeah, that was the next
big
year.
one,
Yeah.
No,
Who comes up with these names?
I know.
You can submit
the name
names.
Dorian.
It seemed evil.
Dorian's a cool name.
Yeah.
Dorian.
What did you do, Adam? Did you
Nothing.
do any kind of prep?
I got gas. I went to the liquor store. I bought a case of beer.
Patio furniture?
Didn't even bring it in.
Really?
Well, we were
kind of like not
so
right
you would have
for
been
your
that guy.
neighbors. Yeah, you're that guy.
Well, no, I mean the problem is like there's 3 chairs in the backyard. It's like okay, all of a sudden right before like Friday night, it's like it's turning. It's like okay, I've got accordion shutters on the house.
You got a grill?
Yeah.
Left it out?
It's under cover.
Time if it would have turned
It's in a
off.
patio. Yeah.
I left my grill out, but I left it in the corner between our privacy fence and the house.
I had everything strapped
and
up.
bungee.
I had everything strapped up and done and brought inside by Sunday.
I had it done by Friday because I had to fly out Saturday morning.
I
They
did
don't
by
all of a
Sunday.
sudden tell you, it'll be here in 15 minutes.
Right.
No, but you know, just, you know, that stuff, they never know where it's going to go. That's the problem. When they were saying it was going directly for us, I'm like, oh, great, because they've never been right. Right?
So you knew they would.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, 23 years, I've never seen a hurricane follow their projected path 5 days out.
Well, not to mention with this one, they changed the path 18 different times over the course of 5 days.
It wouldn't move.
On Thursday and Friday, when we were looking at it, I said to my wife, I'm pretty sure, and I'm not a meteorologist, that I could have come up with that cone of uncertainty. They covered Key West to Jacksonville.
Yeah. Get nice and close to that mic, Jack.
I could come up with that.
Well,
talk into the mic.
Yeah, not to mention on Tuesday, it was projected not to go anywhere bigger than a tropical depression, and then got to a Cat 5.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Exactly.
Now, the Bahamas got
slaughtered,
obliterated. It's awful. I mean, they're in the Freeport area, and what is it, Abaco?
Abaco, yeah.
It's terrible, especially for a place like that. I mean, they don't have. There's not concrete block construction houses, and
there will be.
Yeah, now.
Well, here's the sad.
That's like Kendall and Homestead were remodeled by Andrew.
Right. That's exactly what happens. I mean, it's sad because honestly, after the last 3 hurricanes, I think they were spared last year, but they had like 3 right before that. They made a law like every house had to be 130 mile per hour. You know, withstand. Yeah. Any home had to be rebuilt or fixed so it could stand 135 mile per hour winds, and then it gets slammed with 180 mile per hour storm.
Right.
I mean, literally. But, it's one of those things, man. It's tough when you're out there in those islands, and it's 3 feet above water. There's 23-foot wave surges. I mean, it's nuts.
Some of those videos of the people that hung out and tried to ride it out.
No.
I mean, come on.
I'm not riding a storm out on an island.
No.
I'm getting out.
Sean Connery did, actually.
What a random fact.
Yeah, okay. All right.
No,
I bite.
I saw a news story that Sean Connery, at 89 years old, hung out at his Bahamian home during the hurricane.
Really?
He stayed.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But he wasn't in the path. He was in NASA or something.
He's also
He's also probably got a really nice house.
You think?
Yeah.
It doesn't remember what a hurricane is.
He's probably got a safe room. I mean, could you be in the Bahamas and not be in the path?
Yes.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. It was mostly northwestern, right?
Yeah, it was the northwest side.
Wow.
Like Nassau.
Nassau got a little flooding.
Right, but Nassau didn't get hit the way like Freeport did.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Nassau's the bigger area, right? The bigger tour.
Yeah.
I've only been to Freeport a couple of times.
Atlantis.
That's
all
in
those
Nassau?
areas, yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, so there were places that were spared, but the problem was that it just sat on top of
Yeah.
the Bahamas for a
30
long
hours.
time.
30
And
hours.
this is how much they know. At no moment leading up to that did any meteorologist say, by the way, it's going to stop for 15 hours.
Right.
Because I've never seen
Right.
a hurricane stop.
Right.
Literally.
It's going to stop for 15 hours and then decide where it's going to. I never heard that forecast.
Well, the news had fun with it.
Yeah.
Oh man, the Weather Channel was selling ads like crazy, man. They had this was their moment for the year to make some
I
cash.
really try not to watch the news at all. I'll Google the path, see what an updated path is, but I stay away from the news, man. They're all so dramatic.
Yeah, the music was really
They
like
always
terrifying.
are. They always are. And my favorite is
The Weather Channel
Yeah.
is the best.
I don't watch it anymore, but if you do watch it, like your local news, but like if it really didn't do the devastation that it's supposed to do,
Right.
they'll go out and find, oh yeah, here, look at this. We got a couple branches in a tree here. Let's take a picture of this. The devastation was fierce in some area.
Well,
They got like a little
they did
corner.
There's
that.
a small puddle here.
Right?
They did that
Yeah.
with the gas lines. So they instead of going to a regular gas station, they go to a Costco. Have you ever passed Costco?
It's got a line every day.
The line is out to the street every day of the week, no matter
It's
what
true.
time you go.
That's funny.
So maybe there were a couple extra cars on there.
Right.
You know? So
It-
but I noticed that they were always at a Costco.
But
They
you
were at
know
the Costco by our house.
Right.
And but that line's always out to the street.
Always. Did you realize like the 2 days before the storm, gas was like everywhere?
Yeah.
Like literally 2 days before the storm, you can get gas anywhere, any time of day.
Yeah, when I left Saturday morning, I actually filled up on the way to the airport
Yeah,
because you could.
everywhere.
Yeah.
The funny thing is to see all these local weather people. They're kind of willing it toward them because Brian Norcross made a
They
name
want
for
the
it.
news.
They want it.
They want the
it.
news.
And you got Jim Cantori chasing it down the coast.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out where it's going to hit.
No, they want the news.
It's just a matter of time before one of these
Their time to
jackasses
shine.
gets hit by a
I'm
2x4.
more interested in seeing the meteorologist in the studio, the female meteorologist.
Oh my, I was
as
just
opposed
gonna
to having
say
the
that.
windbreaker. As opposed to having the windbreaker and rain gear.
Well, but
Keep
the
them in
Weather
studio.
Channel has some very attractive meteorologists.
Oh,
They've upped their game in recent years.
They're like the new Fox News.
Really?
That Jim
Oh yeah,
Cantori is
it's not like
sexy.
it was. Yeah.
That's funny.
I'm sorry, I'm going to need that as a soundbite, Colin.
Yeah, absolutely. Future soundbite.
Future soundbite, Jack Toraño.
I
Holy
ran up
cow.
to New York, but not for the hurricane. I had a wedding to go to anyway, and we actually got out Saturday morning. So
You have a wedding every week.
Dude,
I do.
I didn't
It's
want to get into this
crazy.
conversation. He's only here 1 week out of 4 in October. I said, why are you even a producer of the show?
Well, I can produce remotely.
Who goes to every wedding they're invited to?
We're not going to every wedding. We're going to 4 out of the 7 that we were invited.
If I had to go to 4 weddings in 1 month, I would be
2
borderline
months.
suicidal.
Yeah, I would.
Borderline suicidal.
It's awful. I'm not gonna lie.
Just send the check. That's all they really want. They really don't want you there.
Yep.
I know, but I don't have to give as much if I use points to fly up there and go to the wedding,
Whatever.
because they don't know that I'm not paying for the flight.
Who cares?
I was
I'd rather
invited,
pay for the flight and stay home.
I was invited to Zach Moore, the general rep's wedding up in Richmond, Virginia. And when I got there, I said, listen, for what it cost me to come see you get married, I would have sent you a check for $1,000
Right.
as a gift.
You know, it's funny because when new people get married and they're like, man, I don't know who to invite. I'm gonna make them upset. I have to break it to them. I said, look,
Make it easy. Don't.
I don't.
Some
yeah,
people
like,
hate it, yeah.
No, I said I don't want to like rain on your parade, but of all the people on your list, probably only 10 people really want to be there.
Yeah.
You're not gonna really offend anybody.
They're called family.
Yeah. The rest of us are kind of okay. We're gonna go.
You
It's
tell me you weren't
obligation.
excited to crash my wedding?
Hell no.
I was.
Hell no.
Yeah, Adam was, because he thought he had a shot. That's
No, he did not.
That's
He never
funny.
did. He never did.
Listen to me. Yours was
Nor was-
different. We were going to crash a wedding and whatever, but you know, most people, it's an obligatory thing. all right?
You don't have to
gotta
tell
go.
me. I get it. I hate weddings. I hate everything about them.
So I try not to disappoint them. I send them a check, and they don't have to buy me a plate. Me and my wife a plate. It's a win-win.
I've learned the same thing, Abe.
It's a win-win.
yeah,
And
Coop,
especially when they're
Coop was scolding me.
when they're out-of-state weddings.
They're
That's like your easy out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The
well,
destination.
and
destination
the kids make it even easier. So when you have kids,
Oh, yeah.
that's
When
you gotta
you do the
you gotta
4 kids.
use the kids angle. It's too.
My wife wants to go.
That's his problem. His wife wants
So,
to go to
so tell
every
your wife
wedding.
to go.
Right there.
Coop with a line of the
Just-
day.
Tell her to go. I mean,
Just so
seriously.
that's what I told him.
Paul,
Just-
listen, I've been married 29 years. I'm telling you, that's how.
Just so you know,
See,
that's what a set of balls looks like.
Right.
I just want you to know. That's,
Vivacious.
that's what a set of balls looks like right there. Holy cow. So yeah, producing and hosting the whole month of October.
When Coop told me he was going to be here, I was like, oh, maybe this is the
Well, you
moment
gonna
when Abe's like,
I've already tried to get him to move down here. We've been talking about it on Facebook.
he's working on it.
I'm
He's working on it.
I'm working on it.
Move.
Listen, where you can tell
Well,
your
you
wife.
wanted to go to Miami.
No, I love I'd move up here. Don't leave me here.
I was gonna say, if you're going to live in Miami, you might as well stay where you're at.
No,
Holy
I mean,
cow.
this was like a hike to get
No
up here
offense,
today.
Jack.
Have your wife come and visit the neighborhood that we all live in. She'll like it there. It's a little bit less crazy.
I'm
You
working
all
on
live
it.
in the same neighborhood?
Pretty much.
Kind of,
Really?
yeah.
Yeah, we all live in about 5,
Yeah.
10 minutes from each other. Not even 10 minutes, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit further
You
out
hang
west.
out at night?
Hell no.
No.
Hell no.
I've tried to go to his house. The guard gate said that I'm on the do not enter list.
Yep. Yep.
Adam has been
Abe,
to my house
Abe is
twice.
a wise man.
No. I keep looking for Adam when I'm in Whole Foods and stuff at the bar. I'm like, is Adam at the bar? Nope, he's not at the bar.
Haven't been in like 2 years actually.
I wonder if JB
The
is
bar at
concerned.
Whole Foods?
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know. I just
That
haven't
was
had-
your thing.
That
I
was
haven't
the
had the
thing,
time to go.
You what?
I just haven't had the time to go, or just the desire to go.
Desire. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What are you busy with?
I wasn't even gonna get into that conversation. It really wasn't.
Do you really want to open that door?
No. Well, we got to get to our.
He's busy with your murder plot, Paul.
We have
that
to.
he's
He
working on.
might be.
Obviously. Yeah.
You never know.
Adam's
Adam
not
could-
married, right?
No. Oh God, no.
Hell no.
To bourbon.
He said he said he'll never be married.
Yeah. Anyway, this has been a great first segment of the show. We're going to take a break. When we come back, more with Jack Toraño and Coop. Keep it lit.
You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Experience the new Henry Clay Warhawk, a robust and complex cigar that's inspired by the rebellious roots of Henry Clay. The first of a 3-part series honoring the life of the great statesman, this cigar is made with the best tobaccos grown and hand-rolled by the Grupo de Maestros at La Flor de Copan in Honduras. And it's not your typical Connecticut. This is a Henry Clay. Stand up, be different, and smoke a Warhawk. Surgeon General warning, cigar smoking can cause cancer to the mouth and throat even if you do not inhale.
Hello, this is Glenn Case, owner of Christoph Cigars. Smoking a cigar is all part of the experience. For me, there's nothing better than gathering with friends after an amazing steak dinner and smoking my GC Signature Series, paired with a fine glass of scotch. Good conversation and a few laughs is always better when smoking Christoph. Start enriching your downtime. Go to Christoph.com and click on the Discover Your Christoph tab to find the Christoph cigars that are right for you. Upgrade your downtime with Christoph.
The Oliva family, the makers of some of the most affordable yet highest rated premium cigars available. For 7 straight years, Cigar Aficionado has rated Oliva as one of the best cigars of the year. And Oliva has a cigar for all smokers, from the newly released Gilberto Oliva Reserva to the bold and rich Oliva Serie V. Oliva cigars can be found at a tobacconist near you, so always ask for Oliva, an unbeatable value and uncompromising quality. The Oliva family of cigars.
The recently released Perdomo Double-Aged 12-Year Vintage is an extremely rare blend of Perdomo's finest and most cherished 12-year-old fillers, binders, and wrappers. Bale-aged for 10 years and then barrel-aged in bourbon barrels for an additional 2 years, these exquisite Nicaraguan tobaccos are bursting with rich, complex flavors. Offered in Connecticut, sun-grown, or Maduro, available at only 250 authorized tobacconists worldwide, the Perdomo Double-Aged 12-Year Vintage is a must-have for every cigar enthusiast.
Hey, this is Clay from La Polina Cigar Company. My likes and dislikes: long walks in the park, old school gangster films, wrestling grizzly bears with Abe. Dislikes: smelly feet, flight attendants with an attitude, and Friday afternoon traffic. What I know you will like is the La Polina family of fine cigars, such as Mr. Sam, Bronze Label, and our highly rated Classic Series. But let's not forget the limited edition Goldie. Quality forever. La Polina Cigars.
Plasencia Cigars has been one of the world's leading growers of first-class tobacco since 1865. Today, Nestor Plasencia Sr., together with the 5th generation of the Plasencia family, continue the legacy. With over 3,000 acres of quality tobacco fields, they are makers of quality cigars, including Alma Fuerte, ranked among the top 10 cigars in major publications. Find them in your local premium tobacconist stores around the country. Plasencia Cigars, perfected for more than 150 years. Yours to enjoy now.
Looking for something unique and awesome? Smoke Oscar Valderas cigars. 2012 Connecticut, 2012 Corojo, 2012 Maduro, the Oscar Habano, the Oscar Maduro, My Way, and our latest creation, Oscar Valderas Cicerone Edition. A great cigar that comes in 5 different collectible boxes with an amazing exclusive artwork. Remember, Oscar has something unique and awesome waiting for you. Ask for Oscar Cigars in your favorite cigar shop.
Keep the party going all week long at the world-famous Spearmint Rhino, West Palm Beach. Every Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday, enjoy $3 premium drinks from the bar till midnight. Magnum Mondays means $100 magnums of Belvedere and Moët Brut until midnight. Get your thrills every $10 Tuesday with $10 dances all day and night. Ladies, don't miss Women Crush Wednesdays with half off your cover charge. No matter the time of day, it's always a good time at Spearmint Rhino, West Palm Beach.
Welcome back. You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Welcome back to KMA Talk Radio, broadcasting live. I am Adam K, the Brewmeister. With me, of course, Mr. Honest Dave.
Hello, hello.
Paul, the producer.
Hi.
Our special correspondent, in all the way from the Carolinas, Mr. William Cooper.
Hi there.
That was good.
That's a good radio voice.
That was
Yeah.
good.
And, of course, our special guest, Mr. Jack Toraño.
Hello, everybody.
Jack.
Who is here for what we consider to be our favorite part of the show.
I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell.
It's time to meet your maker.
This week, KMA Talk Radio is pleased to welcome back Mr. Jack Toraño of Espinosa Cigars, formerly of the Toraño Cigar family, and formerly of General Cigars, and, well, an industry veteran for sure. Jack, welcome back
I think
to
there were a
KMA
couple
Talk
other
Radio.
companies along the way.
Yeah, you can throw in another couple.
There's a couple more, but
He's still in the Toraño family, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't get...
They didn't take my name. I kept the last name. I just can't use it.
I just can't use it.
just can't use it.
That's funny. So, Jack, how's everything going?
Everything's going great, man.
How's the world of Espinosa Cigars treating you?
It's Eric. Eric's fantastic to work with, man.
Yeah?
He's a lot of fun. You know, I've been traveling a lot, and he travels a lot, so we don't get to spend a lot of time.
I was going to say, how
together.
much time do you really spend working with
Well,
him?
these couple of weeks we've been in the office, you know, together and
Hurricane prepping?
hurricane prepping,
Right.
and mostly not hurricane prepping,
right.
but yeah, it's a lot of fun and a lot of good things coming up.
It seems like a kind of like a brotherhood there, like between. I mean,
It's
I
not
know
a
that you
brotherhood,
guys.
dude. It's a bro.
Oh,
It's
sorry.
a bro.
It's a bro.
But like with Hector,
We are a
Junior and
Brotique cigar.
Yeah.
There you go.
Somebody trademarked that quick.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of busting chops over there. I'm assuming.
Oh yes, yes. I mean, it is Espinosa's offices is like it's like a lounge over there. I mean, all day long we have visitors.
Yeah.
that come by
Just wanna come and hang out.
from the mayor of Hialeah Gardens to the entire police department. To everybody.
Oh,
comes
really?
by
That
to
people
say-
just stop in?
People just stop
smoke
in.
a cigar, hang out?
Smoke a cigar, hang out. You know,
Got it. I would never get nothing
smack
done.
talk with Eric, and
Yeah.
then he's out, and the next person comes in.
And Eric
so
loves it,
it's
probably.
Oh, absolutely.
Loves
We
it.
all love it. It's
Yeah.
a lot of fun. You know, you breaks up the monotony of
Working.
having to work.
Actually working. Go figure, Jack wanting to break the monotony.
I'm gonna run these reports. Well, no, we have a visitor. I don't have.
Right?
You know,
Can't do that now.
Can't do that now. Let's.
That's funny.
You still staring in your office with Hector?
I am.
You and Hector share a room?
Yes.
Is it the same
Office?
office that Hector was in before?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Hector came in
Yeah.
after I started working there. Hector came in on a weekend and he remodeled the whole thing. So now our desks face each other
Oh my
right
God.
together, but there's two giant monitors. So when Hector and I need to talk, we have to do the, you know,
Oh, boy.
kind of slide.
Hector barely fit in that office last
Yeah,
time.
that's not a huge
but,
office.
But he took a lot of stuff out.
Holy
It's
cow.
the size of this room, probably.
Eric Jr. was the smartest one there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in the
Built-
warehouse.
Yeah, he built his own office out in the warehouse.
Yeah.
Like, let me get away from this.
Oh, is that what that little like cutout is?
Yeah, yeah,
that's
That's
Eric.
his.
And he's
oh,
got his
I
own.
didn't know
He's
that.
got his own
Yes.
air conditioning. Whenever it gets really hot, you go into his.
Yeah,
office.
he made like a satellite room in the building. It was genius.
Oh, I didn't know that was his.
Yes.
I was in there with him. I didn't know that was his office.
You'll be there in 6 weeks.
Unless it's a wedding.
Is our plan to drive down that morning.
We haven't really talked about it.
Yeah, we got to drive down
Yeah,
that
come
morning.
down
So listen.
before.
So speaking of Eric Jr., he made something very special. For you.
Junior, as long as
This is
What is
you
this?
got to open it. It was
it's
made.
an MTZ box.
He made it for his closest and special friends that he respects in the industry.
Holy cow!
And then he made one for you.
I hope some kind of an animal, like the snakes, pop out.
There's a snake in my boots.
Wow, what a great Toy Story
Well,
reference.
it's funny because I never really saw this in the box until
Yesterday,
until-
Thursday.
Well, I saw it in the video a couple days
Right,
ago.
yeah.
When they came?
When they started saying it was going to ship it, because every time I've seen it, I've just always seen it in
The box itself.
Right.
Here, hold that up so that we can.
Okay, are we in the front camera?
Yeah, in your
All
camera.
Right.
Just so we can see.
Well, I got to open it flat.
That's fine. We just wanted to see the front of it.
Somebody talk, so it's not
It's
like
kind
it's
of
on
a-
dead
kind of a
silence.
Everyone knows that can ship.
Episode of
Yes, find an
Ship.
MTZ at a retailer near you.
Did you see I posted my dollar bill from Juan?
Cancel?
No, Juan.
Oh yeah, yeah,
from
well,
Gurkha.
Lopez. Yeah, Juan Lopez.
Juan
Lopez.
And then somebody went, Juan can't ship. I'm like, wrong Juan. Oh,
Hand painted, one of a kind.
oh,
At Dean
no.
Gutierrez, a Cuban artist.
Oh, wow.
Oh no. Ow. This is wow. Look at this.
That kind of nice.
Wow,
that's awesome.
That is
Yeah.
awesome. Look at
I
that.
don't know if you can see it good on the
Yeah,
camera.
we
but
can.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That is cool. Open up the shutters.
And if you want to fill it with cigars, we got them for you at wholesale.
Listen, I just cracked it.
what a rep.
Wait, I just cracked it to make sure he wasn't just kidding. You never know with these cigar guys.
You never do. Oh my.
Wow, this is awesome.
It did come out really
man.
nice.
Oh my, this is like brilliant. I
When
gotta
when
call him.
when
I
Junior
love
was
he's
on,
got the
we
new
were.
logo on there and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, Junior,
is great.
Junior did an incredible job with that, and I mean, listen, he has lost sleep over that. There was a lot of little bumps and bruises along the way,
We
but
talked about it. We
Yeah.
talked about it on
came
the
out
air.
incredible, and he's
No, this is brilliant. Oh, now
he's
I gotta
done a great
call
job.
him. Thank you for bringing this, Jack. Just like amazingly cool. Really.
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
Yes. super cool.
Your invoice is coming.
I was gonna say, does that mean you have to give back the other ones?
Listen. I won't mention any names, but that's happened.
Wait a second.
I
somebody's
will not
giving-
mention
you
I
have to
can
mention-
believe it.
Oh,
I can
listen,
believe
I
it.
guarantee you that's
I
happening.
will not. We will not tell that story on air.
So you were given a box.
During the break, I'll give Jack one guess. I bet you he can pick it.
So you were given a box of cigars?
I was called, said, hey, we're shipping you something. Why don't you look at it? It was some prototype they were working on and stuff. And I got them. It was cool. I'm like, oh, these are awesome. And I got the first ones in the country. I'm going to put these in my locker and save them forever. You
Right.
know?
Like you do. Yeah, I've seen a
Then
couple
I got
of
the
your.
invoice, took them out and sold them.
Wow.
Yeah.
It happens.
True story.
More than you believe.
Jeez.
Eric, brother, thank you, man. Awesomeness. I'll make a video of this in the shop.
He
Yeah.
did really good, yeah.
Boy, I got a
very
whole bunch
cool.
of gifts. I got that. I got one of these.
We got the La
Dude,
Bamba sign.
we need to invite Jack more often.
Yeah, seriously.
I got a cap.
This man comes
Yeah.
bearing. This man comes
I
bearing
got a cap.
gifts.
I got a cap too.
I got a watermelon, no cap.
So
Always
there is a reason
Now the
why.
MTZs,
Matanzas.
they just started shipping out there.
Just this week,
Now, how many total boxes were made?
500.
That's it.
500 of this dress box, but
Right, this dress box.
We just shipped out 250.
Right. So if they don't get one of these 500 that you've made, then the rest are just going to be the cigars.
10 counts.
Right.
The 10 count boxes, which are really nice too.
Well, this
But-
is a cigar.
Are they still the same boxes that you had for the last one, for the
No, no,
first?
no.
Okay. It's not the same design?
You mean the 10 count?
You mean the dress count?
No, the 10
the 10
counts.
counts very similar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the 10 counts with just a different with the Matanza logo on it.
Okay. Okay. Well, because that was a nice box, too.
It is.
Yeah.
Basically, the packaging's solid, but the cigars are actually stellar. I
Oh,
actually
yeah.
enjoyed. Junior left me a couple boxes last time he was here, and I smoked a couple. They were very good. Very good.
Oh yeah.
Good
It's a phenomenal
stuff.
cigar. Make sure you pick one up before you don't get a chance to, because they're gonna go fast.
So there's an actual reason why we called Jack in this time.
A month and a half ago.
Right. Well, because he travels a lot.
Is this like a secret?
No, but well, maybe to the audience. But if they don't know, there was kind of a long Facebook
That's why
conversation.
you invited him on?
That was you told me to invite him on when that was going on.
I'm like, why don't we have him on? We should. But yeah, I mean, that's not the sole reason. Don't make the guy feel bad.
I'm not saying that's
that it
the
took
only
a Facebook flame war for him to get an invitation to come on the show.
Well, no, he's been on before.
No.
But we wanted to talk about
He brought
this.
me off that time.
We always.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Jack and I always play around. Though one time he thought I was serious. He actually
This was this time.
This was this time.
This
He
time,
texted me-
it at one point it was like Abe was like, I'm like, is he messing around?
No, it was just
you
Abe
know.
being Abe.
So I contacted him. You know, I don't want to say backdoor.
I actually messaged Skip Martin because he was involved in this.
You're like best friends now. You notice
we
that?
We were never not friends. We have different
get him on the
business
show.
philosophies.
Get him on the show.
He's already committed to do the first episode of the new studio. He said he'd fly in just to do that.
Huh. Well, I didn't know that.
Yes.
I was not told that.
Yes. So, no, I actually messaged him. Did I sound that serious? He's like, no. So he actually had me doubting myself.
So we were.
I can't even remember what the topic was about. What was
So
it about?
so the crazy thing was
which
that
absurd backwards point were you trying to make?
All comes full circle.
Did you have a shots fired?
Probably.
So Facebook goes after all the cigar groups that are dealing in sales
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah, I remember
trades
this
and
posting
that
that.
whole thing, and kind of is shutting them down. And the uproar on social media is insane. An uproar that I have never seen over the FDA, which is the true battle we're fighting.
Right.
I haven't seen that uproar, and that's the comment I made. That, you know, I'd like to see that over the FDA.
Here's the difference.
And it spiraled like most Facebook things.
Well, you made some other
spiraled
comments about secondary markets, which I found a little weird, and a couple other things. But here's the difference. I want to address this, right? How long have you been in Florida?
My whole life,
Okay.
except for 14
So you
years.
remember when the indoor smoking ban
Yes,
passed?
and
Okay.
I was in Chicago and it was banned there.
Okay, so here's the thing. See, this consumer, the consumers in our segment of the industry are very good not reacting until it's too late. Right?
Correct.
So, like, you know, they've been lobbying. Everybody was talking about, hey, you're not going to be able to smoke in restaurants and bars anymore here in Florida. You know, and we, as cigar shop owners, tobacco people, we were lobbying and trying to bring awareness. Nothing happened. This law got passed on the piggyback of some other weird law.
And then they went crazy.
And then everybody went nuts.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
where have you been the last 6 months? See, that's what they do.
And you're right. That's what's going to happen
The
this time with the FDA.
I still have consumers. I got people who walk in my shop who's like, hey, I'm thinking about getting into the business. I'm like, are you aware of what's going on politically in this industry?
And they say no.
Most consumers, believe it or not, you're going to be shocked when I say this, don't have a clue about what's going on federally and with the FDA in our industry, which blows my mind away.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why you're getting the Facebook reaction, because it happened.
Yeah.
It was affecting them right now.
Right now.
And their clubs and their sites were getting shut down and whatever. So that's why when FDA gets in their way and the first time someone will be able to walk into, like, how come I can't go in the humidor? Oh yeah, you're not allowed to go inside, sir. But if you tell me what you want, I'll go in and grab it for you. And then when I come back out with a black and white generic box with a name on it, they'll be like, what happened? What is this? And we'll be like, where were you the last 20 years?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So that's why it was that way. But you made a comment about some secondary market stuff too, that it stopped secondary market.
That I didn't think it was wrong that Facebook shut down these secondary markets.
Well, I think part of the problem at the time is most people didn't understand what exactly they were going after, right? Because even our company, right? Because I have a lot of social media platforms. Like, I don't know now. Can we post a special?
But you
Can we
can't.
not? In the beginning,
Yeah.
actually, I think it was Coop's article,
Yep.
one of his articles that finally explained it all.
Because
in
Coop's
depth.
the one person that actually was able to get somebody on the phone at Facebook.
Well, I was
apparently.
waiting for the
Coop
trade.
the
I was
scoop.
waiting for the trade associations to do it, but
Yeah, you still piping that horn?
I take matters in my own hands. Exactly.
Boy, you're gonna be in for a long time of perpetual disappointment with that.
No, I've learned that, but
Group right there.
But honestly, this is something they should have been all over the trade associations, and they didn't.
See, here's what maybe a lot of people haven't realized. There's nobody really that works that job.
Yeah.
There's nobody there.
No.
Who would be on top of it? You think the current CEO? I don't
There's
know.
not a PR person like a.
They
Listen to me.
No, there's not.
There's a board made up of retailers who I couldn't tell you one person who's on the board right now, but I was on the board. I've been familiar with many boards. Half of them barely work their store, right?
So they're definitely not doing this.
Right, they're not doing this. Then you have a CEO, and I think he has one assistant whoever took over Dawn's position.
Yeah,
right?
and then there's one lobbying guy.
Lobbying, but he's not going to do nothing about this.
No, of course not.
So yeah, who's going to do it? There's no people there to work it. Their main focus in life is let's get this trade show out, and that's pretty much it.
Are the dues paid?
Yeah, are the dues paid? How do we make more money?
Yeah.
That's it. They meet twice a year.
But if you're looking like, I keep going back, it's a PR nightmare, these trade associations. If you're looking to build support, right, and then this is the whole thing we're hearing.
They haven't figured it out.
They haven't figured
I posted that this week.
Right.
They haven't figured out. They don't know what the real media is.
Yeah. No, they don't.
They don't.
They don't. And the thing is, if they would just basically get on top of something like Facebook, which is touching all these people, and they could look like heroes. They could look like heroes with this.
I don't think they're worried about looking like heroes.
No, I don't think so either.
I think that's the
I
problem.
think you're right, yeah.
It's not a real trade association. Basically, what that is a trade show organization group.
Right.
That's pretty much what it is.
Yes. Yeah.
Anyways.
No,
good tangent.
I digress.
Good tangent. So,
we have to get back to that later anyway, when we start talking to Coop.
Oh, you didn't give me the no signal.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
No, you didn't.
I didn't get off topic.
You didn't
for
retell.
Okay.
No, you did not get off topic.
Paul, has to tell me when I'm getting off topic.
I mean, it is my job.
Yeah, well, then do it. Well, he comes into my office. He's like, I need to have a talk with you, but I don't know how to tell you this. Don't be mad. I've talked to a few people. I will not give you their names.
I will not disclose my sources.
I will not disclose my sources, but you get off topic on the show sometimes. I'm like, well, why don't you produce the damn show and tell me when I'm getting off topic? Anyways,
well, I gave you some smack on that when you had Charlie on the show.
Charlie Toraño?
When you had Charlie Toraño for the first time in 3 years.
And we came in drunk?
No.
Oh.
No, that was
way before
we
off
ever had
topic.
Charlie on.
Where'd the drunk come from?
The first time?
Is that the time we had him in? We were talking about the book club.
Like donuts and book club.
Yes.
And
That was when I was
And I
there.
chimed in and I said, "Wow, the first time Charlie's been interviewed by anyone in 3 years." And we're finding out what his favorite donut is.
Well, we were taken aback that he was part of a book club.
I mean,
yeah, the book club thing was good.
Listen, with all due respect, it's about as exciting as Charlie Toraño. I love the guy, but
Charlie loves you too.
I love Charlie Toraño. He's in our backyard. I barely ever see him, but Charlie was.
You don't hang out at the country club?
Is that what he's doing? Is he golfing a lot lately?
Oh yeah.
Big golfing.
He's a big golfer.
But no, I mean, look. You guys, look, are we talking politics? Are we talking cigars, Mr. Producer? I'm trying not to get off topic.
It's the same thing. We're talking about we were started on the Facebook post.
Well, yeah, I mean, because you also mentioned the secondary market, right?
Well, I didn't think any retailer would be opposed to what Facebook did. And
why?
Well,
this is where you and I differ. See,
but I will give you this.
I hate all kinds of control.
I get it.
Because where do you stop that line? I mean, look, why does the secondary market, look, retailers are weird, right?
Yes.
And they are. They get upset about the weirdest things that I never understand. Like, retailers are weird that, I'm not going to bring my consumers to the cigar con because they're going to get sick. I mean, really? I mean, it's not even a real argument as far as I'm concerned, right? And retailers get weird about weird things, but why is a retailer getting mad that something they sold at the price they asked for is getting resold?
Okay. So
where's the argument in that?
The argument is, say Joe Blow needs to buy 2 or 3 boxes of cigars for an upcoming wedding.
Right.
And he tells his buddy, I'm heading to Smoke Inn, and I'm going to buy these cigars. And his buddy says, no. You don't need to go to Smoke Inn. The wedding's a month away. Go on Facebook. You can buy them in the secondary market. That's cost you 3 or 4 boxes
I understand,
of
Jack, but
cigars.
hold on. For the kind of stuff you're talking about, right, the secondary market is priced up. If I'm doing my job as a retailer,
Not always, though. Not always.
Listen
not
to me.
always.
Listen,
I agree for the most part.
For secondary market, it is.
Yeah,
Because,
and a lot of
because
LEs and a lot of...
Yeah, the other thing you're talking about is discounters, which is a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not secondary market.
I'm talking Facebook.
I understand, but anything
They
that
bought it from someone, right? I mean, they had to buy it from some retail
Listen,
location.
most of the stuff that people are looking for in secondary market is stuff that they can't find or very limited, right? The rest of it is
the Facebook cigars, if you will, from some manufacturer we like to talk about.
The rest of it is typically discounted, right? But if I'm doing my job as a retailer, which here's my job as a retailer, right? Which a lot of retailers don't get as well, right? First off, I'm supposed to sell stuff at the right price. So if I get in the gouging game where I think I should charge what secondary market's charging and I'm a retailer, you're going to alienate your customers, right? Second thing is when I get stuff like that, we don't put it out there.
Yeah.
Because, and this is one of the things that I have some very aggressive salespeople, right? When they get stuff like that, they want to be the hero, right? Because sometimes you'll get 10, 15 boxes of something rare, and all they see is, that's a $3,000 sale, right? I can sell this in 5 minutes. And I have to explain to them that's not the value of the product. Right? The $3,000, $4,000 in sales is peanuts. It's ancillary. The value of that product is, hey, wait for one of our customers, one of our patrons who comes in and supports the shop every day of the year, right? Who's not just coming to look for rare stuff. And when he comes and asks for that and you have that to provide to him, you've just done that guy a service. Because I'm not interested for the guy who doesn't shop with me at all, ever. But then
He
calls
comes
me up.
in and tells you, I'll buy 15 boxes.
Well, yeah, can
Give
I
me
buy
tw-
even
give me
one box? I will
give-
sell him one box.
Yeah,
Right? Because he's not my patron. I have
Yeah.
no loyalty or need to appease him. Because that's the guy who's going to go then and put it on eBay or Facebook or wherever club he's at and sell it in the secondary market, right? I'm here to take that product and put it in the right consumer's hands who patronize my store, who keep my store open, support my store. So if you're doing that as a retailer, secondary market's irrelevant. Secondary market stuff never phases me. You know, it really doesn't. Because they had to buy it somewhere in the first market to get it to the secondary market. So a retailer's made his money.
But again, you have to jump through hoops with permits and licensing and making sure whoever you sell to online is 21 years old. And here you go.
You know,
they can sell to anybody.
Let me tell you something. I don't think. Listen, that's you're not going to stop that. I personally would never buy something like, you know, unless it's a collectible item, whatever. I would just go to a store. You know, I always like going to a store and dealing with people. I'm very particular where I spend my money. Right? I work hard for my money. I like to spend my money with people I want to spend my money with. Right?
I agree 100%.
I really do. And I had this conversation with somebody on Facebook this week because they were like, you know, I can't understand why anybody would want to pay more for cigars and not just shop at the bare bottom basement discount, whatever. I'm like, well, I mean, look, it's one of those things. If all you care about is paying the lowest price possible for something, and that's the most important thing in your life, and that works for you.
And sitting in your backyard and smoking by yourself.
But it doesn't work for me, right?
Yeah.
Because my relationships, I like them to be a little bit bigger. Like I got a handy guy I've been using for, I don't know, 15 years? You know, as long as I can remember, who does build-outs, carpentry, whatever I need, right? And he's not the cheapest. He's fair. He's fair enough that I really never haggle with him. And he does good work, but you want to know what? When I need something done last minute right before the hurricane, guess who came running? So I've been using the guy for 10 years. So you're not going to get that from a guy you've been beating up for the bottom line price for, you know, the last 5. You'd be like, yeah, I see you, Charlie. So, you know, it's just one of those things. But, yeah, secondary market never really bothers me, you know. But that's that. Now, he's got some new cigars coming out, too?
Yeah.
What you got?
You have some new things coming up, right?
Do we?
The best answer.
That's what he told me.
The
That's
best
what he told me
answer for
yesterday.
the bullet point here.
Oh, we're not allowed to talk about.
I was trying to get it back on
Well,
cigars.
we got one that we got a collaboration coming out that's nearly in the works, but I really can't talk about it.
Oh, hold on. I appreciate that. Coop, what has he got coming out?
I already know.
Give us the scoop, Coop, because you probably know.
They got a cigar coming out.
You're not going to breach his thing. What is?
I
was telling Adam about the
I
two
can't
microblends.
confirm that Coop knows.
What is the right? I knew where to go. I
Yeah.
know exactly where to go. All right, Jack, we'll bypass your focus area. We'll get it from the scoop.
Yep.
So what is the deal with collaborations?
It seems to be the big thing right
I
now, right?
don't really understand.
All the guys in the beer industry are doing it too, and it's
It's
Maybe
okay.
you could dawn it on
So,
me.
so
I just
then,
don't get
okay,
what
so
the
then
draw
I think
of
there's
a collaboration
I think there's 3 different things, right? I think you have a true collaboration where Blender A and Blender B get together, right?
Okay, first off, let's work on this.
Yeah.
What defines a true collaboration?
ooh.
Blender A and Blender B
Okay.
get together and do what?
So
Do
let's
the
talk about
hokey-pokey in a room?
So let's talk. Yeah, literally, they get in the room and they start rolling up their sleeves with tobacco. That doesn't
Okay.
that doesn't happen that often.
Very rarely.
Right.
Ever.
Right.
What do you know of a true collaboration cigar?
AJ Fernandez and Hochi Blanco.
Hochi Blanco,
did
yeah.
one. Yeah.
Okay.
That's one I would say is probably the truest one that's there.
They both worked on making a blend.
Right.
Yes.
Right,
Okay.
Right. Then there is the case where Company A may supply a particular tobacco to Company B.
See, okay, this is the most common one.
Right.
That's not a collaboration. That's I bought tobacco from you.
Right. And right. That's where it goes down.
Is
And
it
then
not?
and then you get C where basically some name guy goes to a factory
find some cigars.
and finds some cigars and they call it a collaboration.
Okay, so I'm not off point in saying that most of these are all bullshit.
Well, there's also manufacturer A goes to someone else's factory
Right.
and says,
So-
"I want you guys to make a cigar."
Listen,
for me."
I love the.
Hold on, time out. Hold on.
Right.
Sorry. Do we have any breaking sounds like a big semi-trailer? 'Cause
Or
I
glass
just can't
breaking.
believe he just said that, right? Jack, that's not a collaboration.
I didn't
That's
say
been
it
going
was.
on since the beginning of time.
Yeah, I didn't say it was.
That's basically how Ashton got in business.
Right.
That's called a
Yeah,
brand.
yeah.
Ashton went to Fuente, say, hey, make us a cigar.
But today,
CEO went to Nick Perdomo.
today in
hey,
this scenario,
make us a
that's
cigar.
considered
That's
a
a
collab.
co-
That's
but
considered
it's
a
not a
collab.
collaboration. That's how this
Technically,
industry
it's
is
not.
run.
Literally, it's not.
So,
But that's basically how it's looked like. You got a lot of big.
no, that's what it's being marketed. So when you carried Dogma for Dojo,
Right.
was that a collaboration? Be honest.
For who?
For anybody.
Well, okay, I'm going to tell you where it does get a little complicated, because some of my microblend projects, I've said over the years, I consider them to be collaborations, and some were not. A few are not. Only 2 companies really were not, where I really had nothing to do with the blend or whatever. Like Padron, all I got to pick was a size.
And Fuente was the other.
No, Fuente wasn't, man. Fuente, they sold me some product they already had sitting aging that they never used.
Okay.
So I had zero say.
Okay.
But, when you deal with companies like that, you don't get as much collaboration, right? Padron allowed me to pick a size they never made before. That was about an amazing collaboration I was probably ever going to get out of the Padron family, right? But some of these guys really let me work with, I'd like a special size. And then I'll work with the blend. Now, I'm not rolling up my sleeve and picking up tobacco, but they will send me, and we've done this in my office many times, 5, 6, 7, 8 different blends, and we smoke them, and then sometimes we like one out of the first 5 or 6 right off the bat. Sometimes we don't. But we like this one the best, but we feel like it's missing a little something. Can we add a little of this or change it? And then maybe a second or third. So I actually have input in what's being done, so I would consider that for me a collaboration.
But the problem is it's marketed, like you see these guys market, hey, we we went down and hand-selected the tobaccos.
That's called buying tobacco.
But they're not even down at the factory doing it, right?
That's called just buying tobacco.
That's called buying tobacco. It's part of the regular process.
Right. My collaboration is that I don't consider it a collaboration. Like I've helped, obviously none of the manufacturing side of it. It was just something developed for my store that my input was allowed into, right? But this process is completely different. It happens every day where you go, look, I want to create a brand. I'm not a manufacturer. I'm going to have Fuente make my brand. I'm going to have
but we're talking about an actual manufacturer, not some guy off the street.
So the difference is because the guy's already a manufacturer.
The guy's already making cigars, has his own factory,
and doing what has already been done. But because he's a manufacturer, it makes it a collaboration.
Well, and has an established
market,
brand.
I just find that absurd. Am I the only one in this room who finds this absurd?
Here's the thing. It is, I think, 2 miles. Like, if you have, like, the protocol guys going to Lazona, that's not a collaboration, right?
That's them coming to us to
But
make
if
them
you
a
have,
cigar.
if you have a guy who...
But if Juan Cancel had his own factory, then you would call it a collaboration, even though nothing's changed.
If he was established in the industry...
I understand. If he
Absolutely.
was, but none of the process has changed, then it becomes a collaboration.
But Abe, I think you have to have some of what you say.
It's a collaboration
with that.
between two
when
factories.
When you're given that iterative process, I think they don't necessarily have to be rolling their sleeves up and rolling the tobacco, but if they're going to this different factory and they're engaged in that, then I'd say at this point you can start to call it a collaboration.
Yeah.
But, like I said, protocol, you'd say every cigar to protocol does the collaboration if you put it under that umbrella, and that's not true.
I think the term collaboration now is just being a marketing
I
term.
totally agree.
It's
That's
awful.
the whole thing I was going to say,
It's a term that's just being coined.
It's the new pomegranate.
But in this case, Jack...
Okay, hold on. Wait a second. Hold on. Totally. Let's be clear. Is that an expression that I don't know about, or do you just make that up?
Basically, it's just kind of saying like...
Because there was never an old pomegranate.
No, so basically, like, it's just the fad of all of a sudden everything is pomegranate. You gotta have
Pomegranate was like
everything.
a big thing.
Everything has to be
Juice.
pomegranate. Yeah, everything has to be pomegranate. If you're not
But
eating
that
pomegranate,
was a while ago, wasn't it? That's you're a little behind. That's
but
an old reference.
It's a good reference. I get it. I get exactly where you're going with that.
I get it.
Yeah. Okay. This has been an exciting conversation. We're gonna have a lot more here. We're gonna take a short break. More with Jack Toraño and Coop when we come back. Keep it lit.
You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Dan Blunt here for Alec Bradley Cigars. You ever plunk down hard-earned cash for a cigar? You're hoping you just bought yourself a nice drive-through taste town. Only to discover you're in the slow lane with a clunker. That sucks. Say goodbye to bad rides. Test drive an Alec Bradley cigar today. At Alec Bradley, they get it. Whether we're talking about life or cigars, it's all about the ride.
Fuel your soul and experience inspiration with the Aging Room Quattro series by Rafael Nodal. More than just a master blender, but the inspired composer of 4 boutique masterpieces for the sophisticated palate of an aficionado. The Aging Room Quattro series are a perfect chord flavor and aroma, and are born from the best tobaccos, aged under the expertise of one of the greatest names in cigar making. Truly the perfect notes for a genuine cigar smoking experience. Aging Room Quattro series, a quartet of excellence.
Hoya de Nicaragua proudly announces the release of Cuatro Cinco Reserva Especial, a carefully modified recipe containing a unique and exceptional selection of barrel-aged grade A fillers and a beautiful silky shade-grown Habano wrapper. From the legendary Jalapa Valley, produced in small quantities, this exceptional medium to full-bodied cigar will continue to captivate consumers with its rich Nicaraguan complexity, subtle woody and sweet flavors, and a velvety finish. Try a Cuatro Cinco Reserva Especial today.
CLE Cigar Company presents CLE Cigars, Aroa Cigars, and Asylum Cigars. With 4 generations and over 120 years of experience in tobacco, from seed to smoke, these cigars are produced in Honduras and Nicaragua, with the utmost care and precision possible. CLE Cigar Company introduces a vast array of tobaccos in various sizes to bring the highest quality of premium tobacco direct for your enjoyment. Visit clecigars.com for more information.
Since their humble beginnings in 1998, Drew Estate has believed that the production floor is the crossroads between art and passion, and where the real magic takes place. Drew Estate Master Blender Willie Herrera has crafted a unique medium-bodied line extension that is creamy, lush, and ultra-smooth, and finished off with a flawless shade wrapper that delivers satisfaction in spades. Continuing the story from their factory floor, it is with great bravado that the Drew Estate presents Under Crown Shade. A true Drew experience.
For hundreds of years, the indigenous people of the Dominican Republic took tobacco and rolled it tightly into palm leaves. These long cylinders of tobacco, called yawa, created different, unique, robust flavors and aromas, and that original Enduyo tobacco is now for the first time featured in La Aurora Dominican DNA. Full-bodied, robust, spicy, and elegant, La Aurora Dominican DNA is a return to the roots of Dominican cigar making that only La Aurora can provide. Enjoy the very DNA of the Dominican cigar industry. Look to the lion, La Aurora Cigars. We are Dominican defined.
The Oliva family, the makers of some of the most affordable yet highest rated premium cigars available. For 7 straight years, Cigar Aficionado has rated Oliva as one of the best cigars of the year. And Oliva has a cigar for all smokers, from the newly released Gilberto Oliva Reserva to the bold and rich Oliva Serie V. Oliva cigars can be found at a tobacconist near you, so always ask for Oliva. An unbeatable value and uncompromising quality. The Oliva family of cigars.
Ventura Cigar Company is a boutique cigar brand born in sunny Southern California. Ventura Cigar Company is on a mission to create memorable, complex cigar blends that excite the senses and reward discriminating palates. Experience the Cigar Aficionado number 13 Cigar of the Year, the Archetype Axis Mundi. Rise up, step up, look up, fire up, and leave compromise behind with Ventura Cigar Company. Check them out online at venturacigar.com.
Welcome back. You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Welcome back to KMA Talk Radio. Broadcasting live, I am Adam K. the Brewmeister. With me, of course, Mr. Honest Abe.
Good morning to all our fans out there.
Paul, the producer.
Hi.
Our special correspondent, Mr. William Cooper, in the house.
In the house today.
Coop the scoop.
Howdy.
And, of course, our meet and maker, Mr. Jack Toraño.
Howdy.
He's gone country.
Now,
How you doing?
I'm doing your show this week.
Prime time, yeah.
Now, are we doing that where?
Remote.
I mean, do you have a spot yet where you want to do it?
No, he's going to be back home.
I have to go back home.
Oh, you're not going to be here?
I'm not going to be here.
Oh, that sucks.
Well,
I thought we were
well, great promotion for the show.
No. Hey, I'm giving him a plug. I just thought he was still going to be
No,
in
I wish I
town.
could. It would not work out. Unfortunately, I had to go back. I have to go back for other business.
You got a job?
I actually have a job.
No.
Yeah.
So who else is on the show?
It's TBA, but we are going to have a panel that night.
Yeah, give me somebody to abuse.
What if Skip Martin was on the panel?
Because I'm going to tell you something.
We had a couple of fall through, but we will have that.
Every time. If you tell people I'm going to be on the show, no one's going to want to come
I was just going to say, did they drop off after Abe?
No.
You don't have to lie on this show, Coop.
When I watch Coop's show more often, I'm yelling at the screen. I'm, no,
Yeah.
that's wrong.
Yeah.
No, if there was a call-in number, I'd be calling in like.
So it's not only me that you yell at?
No.
That's good to know.
I have a very overbearing, brash personality sometimes.
Wow, I've never heard you actually say that.
Honest Abe.
Ming.
Honest Abe.
The old Ming name,
it's the truth. But listen. Here's the thing: is I can't remember who I was talking with this weekend, right? I'm compelled to tell the truth of a situation.
Or your version of the truth. Like what you believe, your opinion.
It's usually pretty accurate.
Maybe
I got a lot of
Yeah.
dollar bills from you that pretty much say it's pretty
Okay,
accurate.
3 of them are from me. I don't even remember what the other ones were.
Yeah.
The one last night.
What did you lose? What happened last night with
Mr. Know-It-All?
Oh
who had
my
a best
God.
friend who actually has the cabbie picture of Paul Stanley from Kiss.
No, and by the way, he texted me that I was wrong, but I said I needed proof before
You wasted my
No.
time?
No. He texted me 2 minutes before I found that
it?
article. Yeah.
It actually took us like 45 minutes. I never had to work so hard for $1 in my life.
So what happened? Go ahead.
Literal 45 minutes.
After I saw the Kiss concert, I'm one of those guys, like, especially if I see a movie that's a true story and I'm intrigued by it, I will end up spending 2 or 3 hours and reading everything I can online about the movie. That's just the way I am. After seeing the Kiss concert, I became more enamored with their history, right? So
you weren't a Kiss fan before that?
I always was a Kiss fan growing up, but it doesn't mean I knew their history in and out. So after seeing them
I thought I
concert,
did.
Yeah, after seeing them in concert, I got moved. I said, I did a lot of reading, their induction to the Hall of Fame, the history with Peter Criss and Ace Frehley and all this stuff. And basically, Paul made a statement. He goes, well, Gene and Paul
own the band.
Only own the band and only ever were owners of the
and
band.
Peter Criss and Ace Frehley are employees.
I said, dude, that's not the case. And I'm going to be honest with you, nothing I ever read ever told me they were equal partners. But because I did a lot of reading, there was millions of inferences that say, no, dude, they were equal partners as a band. Because they had to vote Peter Criss out.
They voted Peter Criss out.
Yeah, and even Ace Frehley voted Peter
And remember
Criss
they
out.
did the 4 solo albums?
Yeah, they all came out at the same time.
Yeah, they all came out at the same time, yeah.
But they voted Peter Criss out, which required an Ace Frehley vote. Then Ace Frehley kept getting outvoted in every band issue 2-1.
Right.
So he kind of started getting depressed. He didn't like the musical direction the band was going in. And he just kind of said, I'm done, I'm out. Paul actually went and spent a whole day at his house trying to convince him not to quit. But he said, if I don't quit, I'm going to kill myself. Because he had depression and drug issues going on at the time. So I'm telling Paul, I'm like, look, I'm reading everything. Then they sold their makeup rights to Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley. A million things say that these guys weren't employees. They owned it. You don't have to vote an employee out. You say you're fired.
So where my confusion...
And then Paul thought that Gene and Paul had started the band, right? Kiss. Then went and got these guys when that wasn't the case. Gene was already in a band. What was it called?
Wicked Lester.
And then they got Paul Stanley, and they became friends. And then Paul and Gene said, look, we don't like where this band's going, Wicked Lester. We're going to go start our own band. They went out.
They put out ads.
They got Peter Criss. And then they got, as soon as they hired Ace Frehley as a lead guitarist, 2 weeks later they formed the band
One from
Criss.
the Village Voice, one had an ad in Rolling Stone,
Right.
and they used to do ads.
And 2 weeks later they formed the band Criss. So we couldn't find, believe it or not, we were Googling everything. Partnership with Criss, history of partnership with Criss. Did Peter Criss ever own a portion of it? And like 45 minutes, we couldn't find anything that definitively would say it, even though I found a million references that would suggest.
But it wasn't actual proof.
Yeah, he wasn't going to be happy because nothing said they were equal partners.
Which you wouldn't have been either.
But then he came across an article that said the first time that Peter Criss got fired, when
he left as an equal partner.
Yeah, unlike the first time when he left as an equal partner. I said, there you have it.
So that was enough for me. But where I got confused is, I guess when Peter Criss and Ace Frehley came back for the first farewell tour of 400 that they're doing now,
they weren't partners.
They weren't partners. They were hired as employees. And,
Yes.
and I was young when that happened, to be honest. And I guess I just assumed that they were always employees.
There was something with Fleetwood Mac that just recently happened.
And now you know.
Like Lindsey Buckingham was fired. He wasn't an equal partner, but he was fired by Fleetwood Mac, and I think it was Mick Fleetwood and John McVie who owned the band. It turns out. So yeah, it does. Sometimes we don't. It's sometimes not clear. We think they're all.
I think it's how the band's formulated. When 4 guys are in a room, they say we're going to make a band. Whatever.
Right.
I don't see one of them saying, "Well,
I don't
we're
want to
going to own the rights. You guys are going to."
I could see
Gene Simmons saying that though. That's why.
Not early on. Let me tell you something, and that's the other statement. They were every article part of the original 4 co-founders. That wasn't enough for him.
You got to remember, Kiss
wasn't enough for him.
Kiss is more than a band. They were the band. They were a brand.
Oh, without a doubt.
So
Dude, they were on Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, that's like when you're on Scooby-Doo.
I mean,
you made it.
I went at the school Kiss lunch boxes we had.
Right?
We had the Kiss action
The Kiss
figures.
Army.
They have a
I
Kiss
remember-
coffin now.
I remember,
yeah, they're
I
real
remember
great
the,
to their
I remember,
fans.
I remember the Kiss primetime movies are on like network TV. They would have a primetime like movie, Kiss movie.
I really like their music, but
I think they're overrated musically. I'll be honest with you, but
I like it, but
the
I
brand was
absolutely
huge.
hate how they will put their name on anything. Like
you
literally,
hate
a
their, you hate
Kiss.
their business marketing.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't think that like.
All I can tell you is their music is good. I got a lot of songs I really like about
Yeah,
them.
me too.
But for me, and I think most of the guys my age, it's a genre thing, right? We grew up with Chris. We saw Kiss. And, Kiss was all over the news. Satan worshipers, people protesting their concerts, and they put on a hell of a show.
Yeah, they really do.
I was never a big Kiss fan, but I did go see them at the Hollywood Sportatorium in the 80s.
They put on a hell of a show.
I couldn't hear for like 3 days. My ears were buzzing. It was an incredible show, and I became more of a fan after seeing them live.
I mean, let me tell you something. At 71 years old, watching Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley getting on a catapult, swinging across the whole audience to a center stage with one leg and a hook.
Yeah.
Doing this at 70-something years old. In fact, somebody was just telling me, was that you, that his hair got on fire?
Yeah, on this tour, I believe it was.
These guys are amazing.
He didn't even stop.
These guys are amazing.
He was playing and singing, and
Amazing.
two stagehands came out. They put his hair out, and then he just kept going.
All these bands like that we grew up with, they're doing the biggest concerts. You were just at the Rolling Stones. Nick Perdomo was over at Frampton.
They're
last
doing
night.
the biggest concerts because their followership have the money.
Right. Because you got 50 plus medals.
The baby boomers have the money.
We can afford the $200 ticket shows.
I don't
200.
I don't see Taylor Swift 30 years from now generating the same thing. I don't see it.
Well, I don't know if that'll be true or not, if she'll even be around. But if she is, it'll be the same situation. Once that group is older.
But here's the thing that just popped in my head, and I don't know how into music you are. I like music, but my wife and my oldest daughter are like hardcore music junkies.
Yeah.
Like everything, right? Who do you think, like, if you talk about the Stones or Led Zeppelin or Pink Floyd or any of these bands that now it's been like 4, 5, 6, 7 decades and they're still like can sell out concerts and halls, who do you think's around today that's going to be like that?
Fall Out Boy.
Okay, I don't even know who that is.
No.
I don't even know who Fall Out Boy is.
You think Fall Out Boy could sell out a stadium tour?
Yeah.
Wait,
I think they will.
What, you think
I think they will when we get older.
30 years from now?
Yeah, when we get older.
Today.
That's a Chicago band.
When we get older.
Okay.
When Adam and I get older.
I'm gonna go with the Jonas Brothers.
Ugh, God.
I don't know, because all these girls that are following them are going to be old.
Their tour is selling out now.
Yep.
Their tour is selling out now.
They're still young.
A girl I work with is 25 years old, and she went to 4 concerts so
I
far
know,
in
what I'm
Florida.
saying is they're still young and good-looking. The brothers.
Oh, well, yeah.
In 30 years from now, you think they're going to be
But a lot of these
interested in
bands are really good small venue acts.
Yeah, that's what I was going to go with.
But then now they're the demand for them. Mumford and Sons. I think Mumford and Sons is a great band, and
That is a great band.
They are a good band. I wouldn't pay to see them.
No, the Black Keys. If the brothers stop fighting,
Black Keys.
The Black Keys are up
The
there.
Lumineers. We're paying to go see the Lumineers.
I don't think
you probably don't even know who that is.
I don't think anybody you've mentioned will be known 25 years from now.
Maybe Arcade Fire.
See, holy cow! I'm completely out of it.
I don't know what Arcade Fire is.
Arcade Fire. They have a band that's been on the rise.
Listen,
they're a big
I've been to hundreds of concerts. The best live band I've ever seen, the Foo Fighters.
Oh,
I can see
absolutely.
that.
Oh,
my
yes.
God.
I haven't seen them, so I got
live, the most
Yes.
unbelievable band
Absolutely.
I've seen.
Now,
I concur.
And I've seen them all.
He played a whole tour sitting down because he broke his leg,
Yep.
right?
No,
Whole show, yeah.
But you have your Michael Jacksons and you whatever. So it's not just the classic rock era that'll endure.
but
their music's just going to endure. Like,
I don't know how to break this to you, but Michael Jackson died.
No, I understand.
You know, my dad drove Michael Jackson.
But what I'm telling you is, 30 years
My
from
dad was
now,
his driver.
everybody's
He'll still be dead.
Right. He'll still be dead.
Hold on. We have a KMA exclusive that we just found.
Uh-oh.
Coop just
Hear
said.
it first on KMA Talk Radio.
My dad drove Michael Jackson. He was his driver.
What are you, Adam? How do we not know this?
It's been on. I talked about it on my show a lot. So my dad owned a
I
limo
usually
company.
fall asleep 30
Yeah,
minutes
no,
ago. Sorry.
thanks, Dave.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
on
just
late.
kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Wait, so hold on. your dad like drove Michael Jackson like in a cab once,
Limo.
or
So
once, or he was like a regular driver?
Regular driver.
Are you kidding me?
No. So what happened is my
have so
grandfather
many
founded a
questions.
limousine
I do
company.
too.
Sorry, Jack. Sorry, Jack.
We're hijacking the show
Yeah.
here.
The show's gonna go long today. Stick around.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get covered.
I hope you had some coffee.
Yeah.
Tell me about this.
My grandfather founded a limousine company. My dad took it over. They had a contract with CBS Records. So the contract was they drove the executives and the talent. And in the process, my dad drove Michael Jackson many times. Many times.
Just about a year,
And
almost to the
this
day.
is when
that
Michael was
Jackson
about
died.
18 to 20 years old.
So he was still black at the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
My dad he liked
his normal years.
He said,
He's a little more
I mean, I
normal.
do remember my dad saying when he was like 18 to 20, he's a wonderful person, but he's got issues. He knew it then. He said, this
Really?
kid, he knew it then. He says, this guy, I was telling Nick Perdomo this the other night, when you have a relationship with driver and person.
Is there a false sense of confidence, like you could talk?
It's almost like Nick said it. It's like the bartender.
Right?
Yeah, I could see that.
And so yeah.
You figure you're talking to nobody, so you can just be honest and
Yeah.
talk. Really
So
weird.
I do have a signed album from Michael Jackson.
Get out of here.
Yeah. Yep.
Any pictures with your dad and Michael?
There's no pictures. I do have a picture of my dad with Cyndi Lauper.
Okay.
Yeah. She was dressed up as in a Santa outfit.
Did she just want to have fun?
Show me on this doll where he touched your dad.
Wow! Wow! Desecrating the dead, man.
Well, they already did that with that HBO documentary. What are you talking about? That was nothing.
Have you seen the new Chappelle Sticks and Stones comedy special?
No.
Oh
No.
my God! You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it.
Well, Coop, that was definitely a scoop right there, buddy.
That's kind of like hearing that Adam was in the motorcade twice.
Between your dad and Michael Jackson and Adam driving the president, man, we just got a whole room full of special drivers here.
Yeah, seriously, I feel so like.
No, I've talked about it a few times on the show, but
You know what's pretty cool though? I've had Adam drive me around a couple times. I could actually say I've had a presidential driver drive me around.
He is a great driver, though.
The best.
If you fire him, he could easily get a job as a driver.
He doesn't go 1 mile per hour. If I sleep in a car, I can sleep the whole way. That car doesn't rock once.
Right.
He doesn't lane change hard. Doesn't go 1 mile over the speed limit.
And you know what he does with your car? Because your car is like mine. It has like the lane keeping assist and all that stuff. He's like, I like to turn all that off because I need to be in control of everything at all times.
That does probably sound like him.
you know that's how I am. I gotta side with Adam on that. Like, my wife's got the Prius right now. It's got all this. I said, like, what is the cruise control? That's like,
it's the best.
I'm like, no, I gotta be in control of it.
I leave it all on.
Yeah, me too. And I sit back and drive with one finger and go down the turnpike. It's great.
I already twice my car has stopped me from backing into something, and it's pretty freaky because you think you've hit it because it slams on the brakes like on its own.
Right.
So you're like, oh my God, I just hit something. No, the car just stopped itself. So I leave it on.
The only time that doesn't work is in rush hour traffic in New York.
It's
eventually
usually my
turns
driveway.
off.
I'm backing into some car I didn't see, parked in the wrong spot or whatever. It's usually when I'm backing into something. And you're always in a hurry, getting late, getting somewhere. But
like coming to the show.
The lane change thing I leave on, but if you signal, it won't want to lane change back. It's just when you lane change when you don't signal.
When you don't
Correct,
signal.
yeah, it'll fight you.
I rented a car like that, and I went to change lanes without seeing, and the car like vibrated.
Yeah.
Like,
it doesn't want
my
you to
car
lane
does
change.
that.
What was that?
But I mean, Abe and Jack, we're just close to the same age. We grew up. We didn't have all these safety features in cars. Like my first car didn't even have shoulder belts. It had lap belts. That was it.
Technology, Coop. Relax.
we were fine. We were
Relax,
safe. We drove safe.
We drank out of a hose.
It is weird. We did on a regular basis.
We didn't have bottled water back then.
Why is innovation such a bad thing?
I know. Coop,
You feel like
Coop
my
just got
grandfather.
really angry.
Yeah,
You know what
I'm
else
old
couldn't have
school.
happened in the 70s? You having a podcast.
Or you having a cigar problem.
Exactly.
Now, I'm going to tell you why innovation is a bad thing, right? My car's got the little things in the side view mirrors that warn you if there's a car in the blind spot.
Right.
When I first got the car, I never trusted it. How am I going to trust that thing? What if that thing's wrong? I'm going to turn into a car?
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Right. So now it's like, I don't know how many years that's been out. I've gotten accustomed to it. Now I got to rent a car, drive somebody else's car, doesn't have that little light on it. I'm
It's
like,
the worst.
oh my God, is there a car there? I can't tell. Yeah, you lose your skill set. It's like not using calculators and people can't do math anymore, right? Because of calculators, right? You lose your skill set. That's the problem with technology. That's his point. I mean, I get it.
What's the problem? I don't
The problem
understand.
is it drives the price of cars up.
Oh, that's the problem. Sorry.
So because Coop's cheap.
I'm not cheap, but I mean, I don't. Half the
In
stuff
the
do I need.
60s, a new caddy was $5,000.
Exactly.
That's hilarious. All right. In this very dyslexic show we're having today.
Which I've been contributing to.
Right?
That's fine. I'm getting to know Coop so well now.
And our very...
What a person.
You just saw a glimpse of
After Jack preempted me last time.
You just saw a glimpse of Coop. Coop is the get off my lawn.
Yeah,
Kids, get off my lawn.
Are you that guy?
Oh yeah.
Really?
I freak out when the community yard sale comes and they're all parked blocking my driveway. Ask my wife. Ask my wife. She's ready to throw me out of the house. I freak out. Why are they blocking my driveway? She goes, "You're not going anywhere."
Hilarious. So not what you would expect from William Cooper.
No, it's like he's got this inner anger that. Yeah.
Is your wife the nice, calm one?
Yes.
That's awesome.
She, people didn't believe I was married, actually, so that's a picture.
Well, you finally showed a picture.
I was in that fan group.
Oh, it is? This is...
I was in that group, but he can't be married,
Now,
dude. He's never home.
That picture's 21 years old.
But can I pay...
That's how she looks.
I was gonna say, can I pay your wife a compliment?
she got
that
the
picture
short
of you, she looks exactly the same as she did when you just posted a picture of her.
Yeah, if you go look at her profile picture, you can see
she looks just like that.
She got the short end of the stick.
Oh, absolutely.
Holy cow.
But think about 20 years ago, people were saying, Coop, your wife looks really old.
Wow, Jack.
That is one over the bow.
Jack Toraño really came to town today.
I'm glad we put him on far sides of the table here.
I gotta drive back.
We're driving home together.
You guys are driving back together?
We're driving back to Miami, yeah.
Oh, my God. So let's get back to cigars here. So since you guys really haven't communicated and don't know what's going on, I guess the news was broken last night of this new cigar. Should we talk about it now?
You can, absolutely.
Well, I can't
I think
do it
that's
myself, Jack.
I think
But
that's a no.
we've already established that you're going to say this isn't a collaboration.
Well, I mean, let's talk about the non-collaborative collaboration.
It's already on the Facebook.
It's already on the Facebook.
Yeah, somebody broke it. I mean,
Yes.
listen, when I was with General, I wanted to collaborate with actually two different people. One was Eric Espinosa, because of my relationship with him, for the Toraño brand, and the other was Skip Martin with Esteban, because Esteban used to run the Toraño factory.
Right.
And Esteban knows Toraño blends better than anybody. So I pitched to Skip at 3 o'clock in the morning at Stogie's in Houston the idea of having Esteban and Nika Sueño do a cigar for us.
How can Skip make a cigar for General and Skip can't make a cigar for Skip?
You'd have to ask Skip.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I mean, listen. Hold on. I just want to make sure I'm clear on this. I'm not in any way insulting Skip Martin. You know, when he spent the day in my office, you know, I got a much deeper insight.
Had some rum.
Had some good rum.
Wait, you didn't smoke one of his cigars then?
I smoked 2 of them that day.
Oh, you did smoke his
one
cigars.
the next day, yeah. The dude only gave me 3. I gave him a box of 10. He gave me 3 cigars. I said, thanks, Skip. But he did bring a nice bottle of rum.
Yeah, a really nice bottle.
One of the best rums I've tasted.
Coming soon to the microblend collection.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. Skip Tuesday night when he was in Miami, he came to my house with Frank Herrera for dinner, and he showed up with a bottle of Flor Dominicana, or whatever. What is it called? Flor de Caña. 25.
No, listen.
The guy knows his gifts. He's a good guy.
First off, Skip's a really smart guy, and he's a really nice guy.
And a great storyteller.
Well, he likes to talk. I didn't, believe it or not, in our meeting in my office, I didn't get a lot of words in edgewise, okay? But
that never happens.
Well, because, you know, you got to remember, we've met before, but when we met, I didn't know who he was. So it was a very limited conversation, probably on the trade show. When he was on KMA, which maybe in the first year he started his company, or second year, I didn't know who he was. And I still didn't meet him. We were talking over the phone. So, you know, it was really a good way for us to really get to know each other. I learned more about how he makes his cigars, but he's not so much limited into production by getting more rollers. He's limited in how he's buying his tobacco, right? That's what's limiting how he makes cigars. So how could he have ever made a project for General? It would have been like, okay, well, here's
It was a limited
run. Yeah, ultra limited run. Yeah.
You know, it would have been a limited run, and we were working on it. We were working on kind of a redux of the Toraño Cameroon 1960.
Oh, wow.
Kind of a Roma Craft version beefed up, or a Nika Sueño beefed up.
Right.
And it was entitled the Cameroon Project. We had samples. We were moving forward. All that falls apart. That cigar continued forward, and it's Baca.
Oh, really?
That's originally the cigar.
That would have been that cigar?
It wouldn't have been called Baca.
I enjoyed that cigar.
He
That
didn't
was a really
tweak
good
it a little
cigar.
more, kind of in his
Yeah,
own style, but that was
he kept tweaking it,
Yeah.
but that was the original concept, was that Cameroon that we were going to do. So that kind of went away. So when I
That's a cool fact to know.
Yeah. So when I go to Espinosa, I continued trying to see if we could do something with Justin Andrews, who's probably growing to be one of my closest friends in the industry. Justin Andrews. Yeah. And we started working. I think Justin was put in charge of looking into collaborations with smaller companies, and it seemed to be a perfect fit. So we kind of started moving forward in that direction of we would do a cigar.
So Espinosa Cigars
Yes.
is making a cigar that General will own and sell.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So basically, General's just buying cigars from Espinosa.
No.
No.
No. So we went and sourced.
Is that Eric calling
We
now?
went and sourced the tobacco.
Wouldn't you source all the tobacco for cigars you make?
Yes.
Okay, so
But
I'm still looking for the difference.
From General.
Okay, so you took their tobacco.
We took their
You took
tobacco.
they owned.
Yes.
Okay, so
And
that
did you give
Cameroon
them
round.
money for this tobacco?
he don't know.
Sure,
Now you're talking about
I'm sure we
economics,
did.
yeah.
I mean, people,
Right.
People in Nicaragua don't generally give away tobacco.
His point being is whether you bought it from General or you bought it from anybody else, it's just buying tobacco.
It's just buying tobacco.
It's
Yeah.
like you do for your normal
Like we do
operations,
for our
any
normal
other cigar
operations.
you make out of your factory.
Yeah, we don't have farms. Absolutely.
So cut me out, Coop. Am I looking at this great? This to me is where General's just having Espinosa make a cigar for him, and they're buying it.
Yeah, I mean, there's another principle involved here, right?
Do explain.
Well, okay, General doesn't need to go to a factory to do that in most cases, right? Because they got 3 factories, at least 2 of them are right now operational. But
So your theory then coincides with Jack that the need to do that or not makes it a more or less of a collaboration.
I think there's a collaborative aspect to it. But I'm going to be straight, it's not that true collaboration because there's very few of those that exist.
Right.
But there is, I would say, 2 companies working together. This is not something, like I said, General, why would they go to another factory unless they're trying to just do something out of the box here?
So a marketing move, if anything.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
it's the same token as why is AJ Fernandez making half of Alta's portfolio these days?
well, because Altadis doesn't have a Nicaraguan factory.
They could.
They could.
But they don't.
They don't.
Yeah, right?
Right. Right. General's got a Nicaraguan factory.
The old Toraño factory.
Yeah.
How do you feel when you see that brand these days?
I feel fine.
You see it these
Listen,
days?
Wow.
Sadly,
No,
I
honestly,
do.
it's an
Sadly, I do, and in retail stores, I don't see
I mean,
it
I
at
just
good
was at a
places.
store last night. I was sad to see that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see it at good
Yeah.
places, but not much different than I did in 2014.
I think
After
it's
the sale in 2014, it kind of went
Yeah,
south.
it's
and
going to end up being just a mail order cigar.
That's exactly the
that's where it's
direction
gonna
they're
head,
taking
yeah.
it to, and it is what it is. It was funny because my wife used to tell me right before I went to work with Eric, my wife would always tell me, listen, it was a sad departure again from the family brand.
Right.
My wife would say, listen, you're going to
Twice, right? Yeah.
Twice. You're going to look back on this and think that it was kind of to get this monkey off your back and this pressure of trying to build a brand that no one else is supporting really but you out there. You're
Good point.
yeah,
Good point.
you're gonna feel so relieved in a few months. And at the time, I thought she's out of her mind, which
Right.
I think that a lot about my wife, but I love her. and it's true. I don't even think about it now. Listen, I still due to the fact that I have a boatload of it in my house, I still smoke the cigars. I still love the Exodus 50 year, the Casa Toraño. I still love the cigars, but it is what it is.
Who is
It's
the
time to move on?
Who is the brainchild behind the Tamacho era?
That would have been the old president and the old vice president.
They're both gone, right?
They're both gone.
Shocker.
They're both gone.
You inherited
Shocker.
that. You
Oh,
inherited
I
that problem.
inherited that.
Yeah.
Shocker. For
You know,
those of you who don't know what I'm talking about,
The funny story, I'll tell you the funny story is,
is the story related to Tamacho?
yes.
Well, then let me explain it for in case our listeners
Yes.
don't know what Tamacho is. I made a reference that might have been.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, well, then why didn't you ask, Mr. Producer?
I
Just touched your nose.
I couldn't get in there.
Tamacho. There was literally a point in the rebranding of Toraño, repackaging, right? They repackaged everything, and
No, it was a new vault lineup. The new lineup.
okay, but
They didn't repackage any of
Oh,
the
it
old
was a
stuff.
whole new line.
It was a whole new line.
A whole new line.
That's how much I knew about Toraño at the time. But what made it funny is Camacho did a whole repackaging. Maybe, I don't know, 3 years earlier, 4 years earlier.
Yeah.
Did a whole repackaging of their whole lines from going to the
Did a
wood
phenomenal
boxes to now all these colored boxes. The Corojo's red, Ecuadorian was the blue, shiny finished boxes.
Landscape bands.
Yes, landscape bands, everything. So, and it honestly, it did very well for them. Their repackaging was very successful in revitalizing the brand, getting it back up in the consumer's hands. And then all of a sudden, Toraño releases a line that looks exactly like it. Like, if you're far enough where you can't read the words, you would have thought it was Camacho cigars. And ergo, they coined the term Tamacho.
Okay.
Right? So I just asked him, who's the brainchild behind that? It was a joke in the industry. Obviously, everybody who was involved in it is no longer there.
Right.
So now tell your story. That
I had unsuccessfully for a year, behind the scenes, was talking to the old vice president of General, trying to get hired to go back to the brand and help them hopefully rebuild the Toraño brand. To no avail. He gets fired. So then a few months later, they still haven't hired the new rep. They had the new president, Regis. They still haven't brought Regis.
He's gone now too, though.
Actually, they no. Well, he is by the end of the year. He's on his way out.
He's leaving.
Yeah, they announced he's leaving. But they had just brought him on board, and then they released some behind the scenes, like, look at the new Toraño vault, and it hit social media. And I took a snapshot on it, and I put it on social media, and I said, "This is an embarrassment." I went
this
off.
This is before you started
before
working?
I started, like,
holy cow.
I go on, and my cousin Charlie Toraño, who is my consigliere, within 2 minutes picks up the phone and calls me. He says, "Jack, I hate telling you what to do, but you're still wanting to go back to the brand, and there is a new president. You may want to take that off of Facebook."
Smart guy.
So, boom, off of Facebook. A month later, I get hired.
Wow.
So, man. Charlie's still getting 5% of my paycheck.
Yeah, because he needs it.
Yeah.
He needs it. So, yeah, but that had to be a rough experience.
Oh, it was rough, and it was rough being out there in the Toracho and the Tamacho,
right?
And
holy cow.
And then in the beginning, everybody associated that I did it.
Right.
And then I can't exactly go on the attack and go, "I didn't do that."
Right.
Exactly. They did it. I can't do that. I got to try to defend it in some way.
Oh, that was rough.
It was rough in the beginning trying to defend that. But in the defense of this is a copycat industry, number one, unfortunately.
Well,
I don't know. That blatantly. And
I gotta admit, I've kind of been guilty of a couple times of guys saying, "Oh, it kind of looks like." I was like, "Man, you know what? Sometimes everybody makes the assumption everybody knows what everybody else is doing."
Yeah.
Which I discover a lot in my meetings in my office, how pretty much manufacturers, a lot of them don't have any clue what somebody else is doing, right? Like something they don't even know what that brand, whose brand is that? I'm like, really? You don't know? Do you ever experience that talking to a manufacturer?
Oh, it's amazing, yeah.
They're like,
who's the other guy? They don't,
They don't follow anything outside their universe, pretty much,
If they
have a relationship with the manufacturer, that's one thing, but you'll name somebody like, who? Who's that? Really? It's very odd.
It's true.
So they don't know what's going on. And man,
so yes, the marketing team in general came up with that on their
Well, Camacho, one of the most but Camacho, that one I find hard to believe. It was one of the most successful rebrands.
No, that was blatant.
Yeah.
I mean, the band, that was just a blatant.
Yeah.
But it's been done.
But I will tell you, and because of the price point of those cigars, it worked. It caught the eye of people at humidors. It rebuilt like a foundation for Toraño and put the name back in a good light with retailers.
For 30 seconds?
But you needed to build on that. You needed to, you needed to lay the
no
foundation.
innovation.
There was nothing after that. And I kept pitching, and Justin Anders but we kept pitching all this different ideas that would have hopefully taken Toraño up a little higher, but it all kept getting shot down until last year. But I think yes, it was a ripoff, and yes, they shouldn't have done it, but it worked. It worked. It sold a lot of cigars.
So, is there anything you could tell us about this collaboration that you're doing with General? Is there a name?
That was my question.
El General.
Is it using on a name that already exists?
The one thing I can't say is the name.
Okay.
It will come out. It's scheduled to be late October, November release.
Oh, soon.
And it is
we should have Hector on the show. He would have told us everything.
Yep.
Well, he was on a show last night.
I know.
He didn't spill the beans. I think we got more out of this one than. But it.
Well, I'm a much better interrogator than
Yeah.
Emerson.
Yeah.
Just more intimidating.
I'm waiting to read.
I'm so not intimidating, man.
Yeah, you are.
I'm waiting to read about it on Half Wheel.
Ouch. That might be a shot at Hector because he handled that press release.
No, I don't believe that will come.
You're saying we will not be handling the press release on that.
Yes.
And as of this moment, we won't be.
That's
but you never know.
I mean,
things are changing weekly.
That's where I'm going with that. Yep.
And next year, this time I'll be on the show.
We were in the middle of
still
way too
Yeah,
much.
let's take one little break, and then I want to bounce some of the PCA stuff off of Jack.
Yeah, and Coop. Coop has
both
a
of us to get updated where that status is. So let's take a
Absolutely. We're going to take a break. We'll be back. Keep it lit.
You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Hi, this is Nish Patel from Rocky Patel Premium Cigars. I want to introduce you guys out to our Old World Reserve Corojo made in a Honduran facility. What a beautiful medium-bodied cigar. When you light it up, it's got a gorgeous white ash, and you get that sweetness from that delicious Corojo wrapper, a little bit of spice, and a lot of nuttiness. Go to your local brick and mortar, check out the Old World Reserve Corojo. You will not be disappointed. Again, what a delicious cigar.
A Toscano cigar is the perfect combination of American and Italian craftsmanship. Made with American and Italian dark-fired cured tobacco, Toscano cigars are produced by hand by the cigar rollers of Lucca, Italy. Smoking a Toscano helps you escape from the real world for those few perfect minutes, like when you're sitting at home on a terrace after a long day's work pondering life and how beautiful things are. A Toscano cigar can take you back through over 200 years of history and elegance. There's only one Toscano. Available worldwide, Toscano is now available at your local premium cigar retailer.
Hello, this is Glenn Case, owner of Christoph Cigars. Smoking a cigar is all part of the experience. For me, there's nothing better than gathering with friends after an amazing steak dinner and smoking my GC Signature Series, paired with a fine glass of scotch. Good conversation and a few laughs is always better when smoking Christoph. Start enriching your downtime. Go to Christoph.com and click on the Discover Your Christoph tab to find the Christoph cigars that are right for you. Upgrade your downtime with Christoph.
Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust and its master ligador, Steve Saka, is crafting the very finest cigars available today. One such brand is his Todos los Dias. This liga is very smooth with tastes of dark chocolate and figs, with a nice sweet chili pepper that escalates in warmth as you smoke it. On the palate, it feels like a medium-bodied smoke, but it's lying to you, as the cigar is quite strong. From the first puff, there's no doubt of the origin of Todos los Dias, or that it's intended solely for the seasoned cigar smoker. Viva Nicaragua.
With over 20 years in the cigar industry, Eric Espinoza has done it all. He began in retail, became a sales manager, developed and owns his own brands, and today is internationally known as a manufacturer of top-quality premium cigars. Nothing gives Eric more pleasure than to be able to make his own cigars for consumers worldwide to enjoy. Experience cigars made in the Espinoza way. La Ranja Reserva, Murcielago, 601, and Espinosa Habano, and Connecticut. For more information, visit EspinosaCigars.com.
Hey, fools, how about a game of cutthroat? Your funeral. That's my kind of game. Arnold, I hope your pool playing is better than your choice of cigars. Here, try this Rick Loose cigar. You're gonna need all the help you could get. Hey, don't be stingy. Let me get one of those. Rick Loose. Wow, that's good smoke. Now I can bring my A game. Hey, I think you should stick with that Rick Loose cigar and work on your B game because you don't have an A game, and I know a little something about games. Boom. Hey, sucker, go buy yourself a Rick Loose cigar and do it today. Awarded the 2014 Nicaraguan Cigar of the Year. With numerous 90-plus ratings, the Perdomo 20th Anniversary Cigar celebrates Tabacalera Perdomo's 20 years as one of Nicaragua's largest premium cigar manufacturers. Using only the highest priming tobaccos grown exclusively by the Perdomo family, the 20th Anniversary Cigar has a tremendous profile with layer upon layer of rich, elegant, complex flavors. Visit your nearest authorized tobacconist today and experience the masterful blend of these Nicaraguan puros. Now available in extremely limited edition pyramid size in sun-grown or Maduro.
Great and fun times are always made better with great food. Come experience the new menu by Rum Shack at the world-famous Spearmint Rhino in West Palm Beach, featuring exciting new and delicious offerings. Experience their 1-pound New York strip steak special for just under $15 daily until 10 p.m. Enjoy a fine lunch without breaking your wallet every Tuesday and Saturday from their $7 lunch menu. No matter the time or day, the kitchen is open till close at Spearmint Rhino, West Palm Beach.
Welcome back. You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Welcome back to KMA Talk Radio, broadcasting live. I'm Adam K. the Brewmeister. With me, of course, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Honest Abe.
Good morning.
Follow the producer.
Hi.
I feel like it's been forever since we've done a show, right?
It has
been. Yeah.
Really
You know,
has.
the hurricane got in the way. Time away.
Weddings got in the way.
You and your weddings.
Yeah. Our special correspondent, Mr. William Cooper.
Hey there.
In-house today, correspondent.
In-house.
Love to be here. Thank you for having me.
And, of course, our meet your maker, Mr. Jack Toraño of Espinosa Cigars.
Howdy.
That's what we call a callback.
Okay.
Jack,
The banter going on here
If
is
you're going to
amazing.
emulate him, you got to do it the way he did it. Howdy.
Oh, man.
Yippee-ki-yay.
And if you haven't got enough of me today, you can tune in this Thursday.
Thursday, yep.
Yeah, I'll be on Coop's show, which airs, 9 p.m. or 10 p.m.?
10 p.m.
10 p.m.
With a
Eastern
secret
Standard Time.
mystery guest.
Well, we
Yeah. Mystery channel.
Anyone that will.
Yeah, Coop's got to find out who's willing to actually do a show while I'm on.
Exactly.
Poor guy.
All the guys are like, "Oh, Abe's on. I'm busy."
Get Skip.
That's what I was listening.
That was something I thought was going to be for here. That really should be
You
for
didn't
here.
want to steal my thunder doing a Skip interview?
The skip, it really
the
should be
KMA?
here. It really belongs at KMA.
You're such a nice guy. Coop.
But that soap opera's
What a
kind of
giver.
been bubbling for about a year now.
You're not gonna be saying that when he asks you these crazy controversial questions on the air.
Who, Coop?
Yeah.
Dude, there are no such thing as a crazy controversial question.
I think Coop's got some things up his sleeve that he's gonna ask you about.
I
To get you fired up.
Are you all excited, Paul, because you worked with him and got him some stuff to ask?
Hey,
I have not collaborated with him.
we've had some fiery stuff the last 4 or 5 weeks. So.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, the
What did
last
I miss?
Nick Perdomo was on Thursday night. And
I watched some of that while
the
I was
last
driving
segment.
home.
The last segment, he was very.
I got home. I didn't catch the last
Yeah,
segment.
he was very open. I mean, very forthright and open on his
He
comments.
was on this show too. He's a great guy. I mean, but he tells it like it is.
Well,
He doesn't hold back.
No, and there's no point, right? Why are you wasting everybody's time? So, you shouldn't.
Yep.
So let's talk about the PCA.
Yeah.
Or the fact that the CigarCon story crashed the Cigar Coop servers.
No.
Coop.
Yeah. Nobody
Yes,
saw.
tell us about the server
Nobody saw
problem,
that
Coop.
coming.
Okay, so long story short, CigarCon for 2020 is not happening.
Yes, shocker.
Not a shocker because the information leaked out.
Sarcastic.
Yeah,
Sarcastic.
no, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
Mhm.
Well,
Sarcastic.
and not a shocker that.
No,
that
Abe. Not a
the
shocker.
The information. And what happened? The information leaked out about 24 hours beforehand, right? Some retailers started telling me about this, right? So I pretty much had a story ready to go before they made the official announcement. I put the story out there.
Did you wait till they made the official
Yes,
announcement?
I waited till.
That's a classy move, Coop.
But I was.
Coop's a classy guy.
Yeah.
Well, again, I've been in the look. Right now, they're not happy with me probably on some stuff, but it's
Because
okay.
you've told the truth.
Yeah,
You tell it the way it is.
I told
they're
it the
not
way
happy.
I
That's called my life
Right.
story.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're probably not happy with him either.
But all right. So I got it out there like right when we got the press release. Bam! It goes out there. The next thing I know, I'm getting a phone call from the IT support people. Cigar Coop's down, and I'm like, "Can you guys get back up?" They go, "Yeah." They go, "But what the heck happened?" And I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "The traffic just
Blew up.
blew up." Here's the thing: Cigar Coop's not set up for high volume traffic.
Right.
I mean, it's just not.
It's leisurely reading.
Right.
Guys stroll in, stroll out.
Right.
Nine people logged
Yeah,
on
and
and the server blew up.
Yeah.
I know. I was.
And then he's telling me, and then I'm seeing the Facebook page that everything's down. Like it's like, and it was literally, and it exposed a few other technical infrastructure issues.
Problems like that always do. You're
Right,
like,
right.
oh.
But yeah, it took. If people want to say that, oh, no one cares about this stuff, I'll disagree. I mean,
No, they do.
I mean, like I said,
They do. Especially that was such a hot news item because both sides were passionate. The people thought it was amazing and really wanted to go, and the people thought this was the dumbest idea ever. So it was a full throttle, like,
Who were the ones that thought it was amazing?
a lot of consumers were excited as
Oh,
hell. about
consumers,
this.
okay.
there are
mostly
people in the
consumers.
industry who've been excited.
A handful.
The ones that came up with the
Handful.
idea, or
Yeah, Rocky Camp, and there was a couple people who were really all for it, but very little.
But in theory, it's still going to happen,
I
just
talked-
not this year.
Never in the format they were talking about.
Never.
And here's the thing: when this,
They might do something equivalent, accordingly, a spin-off of that idea, but not in the format.
Is that
they
true,
were
Coop? Because I mean, you were kind of saying that it's delayed. Like
that's the saving face statement.
They're supposedly putting together a committee.
Yes.
To look at this now,
Because
but
the original committee was so smart that they're going to pick smart committee people to come up with smarter ideas.
But Abe, we saw it. When did we see this happen? Back with Bill Spahn.
Exactly.
And it died, right?
Committees kill ideas.
That's
a fact.
And the committee,
you want to kill a project? Make a committee.
They're going to bring, and here's the thing, they're going to bring. This is where I question the whole thing. They're going to put a committee together.
Then they have their out. That now, well, the committee said it was not a good idea, so we could.
First off, they lied about it. Well, we just wanted some feedback when we put it out there.
Didn't
they out and out lie about it?
How do you put that in a? They put that in a press release.
They produced a video for
they
it.
cannot get out of their own way. Why just say, hey,
why
look,
look even dumber
why
than you've already made yourself look, right?
It was a terrible job.
I make mistakes.
They put a video out, like you said. They put a whole production and in the magazine, what did it say? The consumers are coming.
Let me tell you what happened.
Yeah, the cover, yeah.
Because they were just too proud to admit what a catastrophic effect that just announcing it the way they did would. So they tried to save face, which only made it look worse.
Right.
Really only made it look worse.
Oh, yeah.
What they should have done is, look, we thought this was a good idea.
Obviously,
we misread our data, and so we're going to put this on hold so we can further investigate what the best way to go about this is. They would have sounded so much more intelligent.
Well, let's
That's
be real.
what they did.
Why
They released a thought without any plan of how it was going to
logistically
happen.
Oh, we got time.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out later. We'll figure it out later.
We'll figure it out. Oh, yeah.
But what do you? I mean, what I believe.
Now, were you for it or against it? Because I don't know where you really stood for it.
I wasn't for it at all.
Yeah, you thought it was
in the way it was presented. I just couldn't figure out how it would work out logistically.
Okay, forget the logistics of it, right? Because logistically, there was no way.
Am I opposed to a Big Smoke style event, maybe adjacent to the trade show?
Exactly.
I'm not completely opposed to that.
Because here's the rule in life: when you try to half-ass anything, it fails.
Yes.
And that was a half-assed attempt to put on that kind of.
Yeah.
First of all, my argument is, and has always been, why do something everybody's doing? Right? Yeah. You're like the latest comer to this show. These types of events have been going on for decades. So what? You think you're going to be any better at it? You think you're going to do anything different at it? What? Because you have all the manufacturers in the industry? I got news for you. At most of these events, all the relevant manufacturers are there too. There's nothing special that anybody's going to see.
And the bang for your buck is 100 times better at your event.
At any one of these events.
Yeah, at any
Rocky
one of these.
Mountain Cigar Festival, my event, even Cigar Fest.
And a lot of consumers were excited until they saw the prices and what they were getting for it. $400, $600, and $1,200 for 10, 20, or 40 cigars?
The only thing that event would have had that other events wouldn't have or could offer differently was to be able to see people's trade show booths, which you could see in every of the 8 million videos that the bloggers put out there, and photos, and whatever. So that's all about a 30-second excitement factor, right?
Breaking news. Consumers have been going to the trade show for a long
time. Forever!
You want to go to trade show?
Forever!
You just work for a manufacturer.
Exactly.
Let
me tell you something. And how long you thought it was going to be before guys got smart? Like, they want me to pay $400 to get 20 cigars and fight 3,000, 4,000, where I could just get one of my retailer friends to give me a pass for $200, and I can walk around the show for 3 days instead of 5 hours.
And get 500 cigars.
Right, and because I'm wearing a cigar company's name on my shirt, I walk out with 500 cigars I don't even have to ask for.
Yeah.
So it was flawed all the way. So look, so once again, to come up with something so lame that already exists and is so blasé and blasé, and it's already been proven that there's probably a dozen guys that are already going to do it way better than you're ever possibly going to do it. Why do it? But if that's the route you take, right? If that's the frying pan you want to put on the stove, right? Then don't do it on the piggyback of a trade show.
No.
Pick a different time of year. You want to do it in Vegas? There isn't one in Vegas. Great venue for it. Do a weekend event in Vegas that has nothing to do with the trade show. Make it that event.
There is one in Vegas.
There is who?
The Big Smoke.
Big Smoke.
I don't count him. Sorry. I forgot about him. Yeah, there is one in Vegas. There is one. I forget about him. I was basically talking about retailer-driven events, right?
Yeah.
Because even the industry guys don't really like that event. It's kind of like, you know, you're doing my event whether you like it or not. Here's the rules. Blah, 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 blah.
Well, it's almost like they're not listening. The complaint that we've all had is the dwindling attendance from retail.
Well, okay, that's the other problem.
So then,
Which they weren't
is
addressing.
this going to do
No.
anything to increase that? No,
No,
it's going to do the opposite.
It drove more of away.
It drove more away.
Yeah, it was very ill-conceived, and I can't think of anything that their current committee, their subcommittee, their sub-subcommittee is going to think that's going to improve on that concept the way it is there during a trade show. Just don't see it happening. So, yeah, they could backpedal all they want, but they need to come up with a better idea.
Yeah, they totally do.
So what else?
Is this a topic we're all in agreement on?
It's a miracle.
When is that?
I like it. Hold on one second. What was it you and I were in a disagreement about that I was...
Well...
You were pro it for a second or something.
I'm pro for doing something to fix the trade show.
No.
Yes,
There was a topic that you were definitely... I'm like, I'm going to chew you up on the show Saturday.
I'm not against having a consumer event. Okay, but when we...
At the trade show.
Adjacent to the trade show, something like that.
Okay, define... I've heard the word adjacent now a couple times. Define what adjacent means.
Like where General throws their opening party.
Right.
You have
So
a big
would the
smoke
event be
stunt.
on the trade show floor itself?
Yes. No. In this way, that you have a big smoke trick-or-treat style event, and then during the course of that event, you lead groups of 30, 40 people to walk the trade show floor while it's closed. It can be set up and closed, and they get to see exactly what the trade show's all about, if that's what they want to see.
Here's what I think we need. I look at Habanos Festival, okay?
There's no way anybody can walk around
But
the
that's
show
what
in
we need.
6
We need
hours.
some sort of equivalent with that.
Let me ask you the ultimate question that serves both purposes, right? You'll get a lot more revenue. And consumers will get what they want, right? Maybe somebody's talked about this. I mean, I'm kind of shocked nobody hasn't. But why not just make a consumer pass and let consumers in? Who cares?
Oh, because there's that whole thing that...
What? Do you think there's anything that consumers don't know?
No. I've said this for years that...
Okay, everybody knows the margin we work on.
Everyone knows the margin.
Everybody knows where our costs are. There's no secret to the mechanics of anything going on this industry.
But, okay,
hold on. Consumers have already been coming into the show in droves for decades, okay? And, I'll be honest with you, half the retailers are more annoying than the consumers are. So why not just make a big, bright, yellow-orange bag that says, consumer, and let them walk the show floor?
Because there's a point where I think it's going to be overflowed to do business. And I can tell you from...
Dude, nobody's doing business. I mean, there's 5 manufacturers maybe who are overflowed. All right, so okay, you get a few more people. But half the show, 80% of the show floor is empty.
Well, now.
Yeah, let the consumers fill it up. You want to get an extra 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people on the floor? Charge $100. Give them a freaking consumer pass. Let them walk around with big scarlet letter badges, like a big A. I'm a consumer.
You want to turn it into Comic-Con.
Right?
Like a Comic-Con.
What's the difference? Somebody explain to me that the real downside of that.
Of having 4,000 more consumers there?
About 4,000
The
bodies.
bars. The hotel rooms.
Dude.
You know, the funny thing is...
Most of them are there anyway.
No, not at that level.
Jack, Bar Luca, which was the old Circle Bar, and Abe. So, I hear all the time, hey, all these deals are done in the bar over there, right? And there's tons of consumers there, so I don't understand this whole thing about price sheets there. That's the part.
I've never seen one deal done at Bar Luca.
But that's what people say.
Listen to me. Here's the reality: is guys like me, I'm not going to the trade show to make any deals. All right, the real guys who are buying, very seldom, because we don't have to. We're making the deals before we go to the trade show. We're making the deals by calling somebody up. If I want to do a project with Eric Espinosa, I'm not waiting to meet him in Vegas.
Yeah.
I'm picking up the phone and I'm calling him. So, you know, but it's an opportunity for the media to tell me what the real downside is.
So you think the trade show should go away?
No. I just think let the consumers in. Let them. I think, first off, the trade show, without a doubt, aesthetically looks pathetic every year. Pathetic on just an aesthetics level. There's nothing exciting to go about the trade show, really. Throw 3,000 more bodies in there, make it look jumping and happening. I don't see. And let me just tell you something. All these little manufacturers who barely get anybody there. Well, you know what? When they can't get into the Padrone or whatever, guess who's they're going to go visit? These guys are going to go visit all these other guys.
Yeah, but that's 3,000 people they can't sell to.
Who?
The manufacturers.
Okay, it doesn't matter. The manufacturers are still going to do whatever they're going to do with the retailers. These guys are going to be mostly spectators during this event, but they get to walk around, they get to feel part of it. consumers are allowed on the floor at many other exposition shows. And I don't think there's any downside. What, the bar's a little busier at night? Who cares? You want to get a couple
It's
thousand...
Vegas, baby.
Yeah. You want to get a couple thousand people. You want to make the show look more livelier overnight. And then you could, if you could get the 1,000 people
Because
there.
you're never going to get all the manufacturers together and only offer deals at that show, which is what would help.
It's never going to happen.
That's never going to happen.
Let's work in the reality that we can work with, right? So let me just follow me on this, right? Now you make a reasonably priced ticket, maybe a 1-day pass, a 2-day pass, a 4-day pass, right? Guys could buy it and just walk the consumer floor blatantly as a consumer, right? Big yellow scarlet letter badge says, "I'm a consumer," right? If a guy like you wants to talk to some consumers, you can pick them out, have a little chit chat with them, whatever. You got time, you got a little downtime. Guys that don't, but they'll get to walk the floor, get the awe at a reasonable price. You bring in all this revenue, and now if you're a smart organization, right? Now you find a way to make ancillary money. You make ancillary events for 100, 200, 300 people. Hold on, that are for the consumers at the show, and you sell tickets to that. There's a much better model, but everybody's too hung up on the consumers going to be on the show floor, which is completely redundant to me.
Okay, I agree with that part, okay? The FDA part is the tricky part with this, because technically we're getting samples on the B2B, on the business to business.
Okay,
Yeah,
they're
but
listed as a
they're paying,
consumer.
they're buying a
ticket, and they're a consumer. They don't get samples.
I think there's something with the Vegas tax laws with that.
Okay, but you're talking hypotheticals now.
Oh, I'm not. I'm pretty sure that's the case. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not sure. You're pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so when you're sure and you know, but let's just say that's not an obstacle. What's the problem with my... And believe me, I never thought of this until right now.
Hey, can I tell you?
I don't go to the...
I will tell you this, and I hate agreeing with you, but that's not a bad idea.
Thank you very
It's a lot better than the idea they hatched.
Listen,
that part I'll agree with.
It's a lot better than the idea that the PCA hatched.
Listen, believe it or not, I get that statement a lot.
No, that I agree with.
People hate agreeing with you?
Yes, I get that a lot. Don't worry.
No, but I do.
I'm very used to it.
They were overcomplicating this. I agree.
This is very simple.
Right.
It's very logical. They don't have to do nothing other than coordinate some ancillary marketing events. Like you go to a certain manufacturer. Hey, Pete, would you host a consumer event? We're going to get a ballroom. You're going to do
That's
something.
where I was going. If you did those breakouts.
Okay, but you got to get
brands.
the 1,000 there people there without disrupting the whole universe.
Right.
And since technically, I'll guarantee you there's been always a few hundred consumers every year on the show anyway.
Yeah.
Make it a couple thousand.
So let me ask you a question.
It's not like the showroom floor isn't absurdly empty.
No.
Okay.
You could have gone bowling
Right?
day 3.
You could put 3,000 people on there and not notice. Right?
Right.
It really wouldn't even...
According to the press release, they're going to consult with guys like you.
Dude,
this is a good...
They'll never put guys like me up on there. Because they don't want to hear guys like me talk.
That's why they should, though. They should.
But you have experience with that.
That's why I got off. That's why I'll never be back on the board. Typically, these kind of groups don't like guys like me, right? Jeff is one of the smartest guys on the board. He should have been on there forever, right? They don't want that, dude, because they don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to go. They don't want guys who are always going to go against the grain. Can you imagine? Because this is what would have happened. You imagine on that board, there'd be 10 people saying what a great idea, and I'd be the only one going, "This is stupid! Don't do it!" That's my position in life. Yeah. I'm that guy. Right? I'm that guy that's stupid, don't do it. I'm arguing. You know, I was on a board. Listen to me, I'm not going to mention any names, but I was on a board of directors, and we had a 11-1 vote. I was the one. And a year later, I was proven right. Absolutely right. What they voted on, they should have never done. And I was the one. So I'm that guy. I'm the least popular board guy ever. Ever.
Understood.
But I'm just telling you, if you wanted a quick fix that really wouldn't have rattled it, this is a sellable thing. Right? And like I said, if you market it smart, you got 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day passes, right? And you sell them, you get a couple thousand people, you make a lot of money, and then you can make a shitload of money on the ancillary effects, the little dinners, the hostings, and made up for these guys, right? And no one cares. And you want to know what? For 3 or 4 days, the show actually looks like a real trade show filled with bodies. You know, it's simple. There's no logistics to it. It's very, very easy.
I'm in. You sold me.
That didn't take much.
The biggest problem, the biggest problem you're going to have with this idea, and I don't even think it's an FDA issue, honestly. The biggest problem you're going to have with this idea is everybody's going to have your initial reaction, and that's because of how old school this industry is. Oh, we can't have consumers on the trade show floor. They might see stuff that they might not supposed to. Dude, they know everything.
But not all of them do. The majority do.
Anybody who's that hardcore knows.
Yeah.
Right? Anybody's going to
Yeah,
trade
anybody
show,
that's going to go to
right,
Vegas to go to a
know-
trade show.
They know
Well,
the market.
they know how the margins
Listen
work.
to me.
But
Charlie
the margins
Minato's posting a wholesale pricing on half. I mean, come on, it's like, it's all out there.
What is half wheel?
Exactly. It's all out there. I mean, it's not a secret, man. So here's the problem with our industry continuously. It refuses to embrace aspects of change, right? No one in this industry, though the manufacturers over the last decade have gotten much better at it, right? But not this board, has embraced this community, right? The real media of this community, guys like Coop and Brian Glenn and Eric Guttermerson and, a lot of other guys. I'm sorry, I'm not mentioning them all, but you guys are the three I work with the most, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's 4 or 5 other really reputable guys as far as I'm concerned, right? These are the real movers and shakers in the media, right?
Absolutely.
I don't even know why, they're not recognized, they're not being worked with, they're not even being consulted, right? They're the direct line to the consumer. They're the bloodline to the consumer more than anybody else. So I should mention KMA Radio.
Let me tell you something. There was not one post shared by the PCA of all the media brands that covered this trade show this year. And that was just, I don't care if, I know they're mad at me, but none of these other guys, you couldn't find one post?
I'm telling you, that's not spite. They live in a cave.
No, I agree, it
live in
wasn't
a cave.
spite.
It's not spite. No one's working it or thinking about it. Most of these guys on the board want to do as minimal as possible.
Yep. I agree.
Really?
No, I totally agree with you.
They want to come in, make their couple of votes, and then walk away. They're not really working it like it's a job.
So let me ask you a question, because you've heard about TPA and the
TPE,
the growing excitement with TPE. We're going to do it. A lot of other manufacturers, the majority of manufacturers.
They want to fly me out there and put me up in a hotel.
Exactly.
That's the hosted
now,
part,
Now, let me ask you a question. If TPE at the end of January is really successful, what impact will that have on the trade show?
Obviously, you don't watch every one of our shows, Jack. I've already predicted that the TPE probably will acquire the IP or the PCA in the next 2 to 3 years.
If not sooner.
Interesting.
Well,
I should
it's
watch this
interesting. It's an interesting set. I mean, one's corporate, one's not, but I can see something maybe where,
There's no point. Make one show.
There can.
Why fight it? Make one show.
It's kind of
Make it
funny.
big
They won't both admit they're in competition with each other, but
Well,
they are.
well,
But they totally are.
Okay, no. Let me correct you.
Right.
TPE is definitely in competition with the PCA. The PCA won't admit that they are competition with.
But they had
There's
they
a
had,
difference.
But they had
There's a
TPE
difference.
people walking the floors at this year's.
You
trade
can't
show.
stop them.
I know you can't.
Back when it was IPCPR and I was on the board,
right?
They flew me. Well, they were supposed to fly me. I was supposed to go on a plane and ended up being a casualty. But me and another board member to meet Joe Rowe, the current president, and we were going to go scout out the TPE because it was up and coming.
Right.
Right. They do that all the time. But my prediction is that the TPE will acquire. They're acquiring media. They're acquiring everything, and I just see the IPCPR is just flailing. TPE runs it like a job, like a real job.
Yeah, it's corporate.
They work it. Eventually, they'll just acquire the IPCPR, or
And then when they acquire it, they'll stop flying people out there and stuff. It'll be the only game in town.
But you want to know what? It'll be an overall better event.
Yeah.
It'll be an overall better event.
Because of what, the time of the year?
They can combine it. Why fight each other? The good time of year, better venue, more people. Plus, you'll have people who bleed in it. I might see some mass market stuff that I would have never thought of considering ordering in my stores, but I said, you know what? I can carry that. There'll be a lot of good synergies if that's done. And I think those guys are so aggressive that that's a viable thing of happening in the future.
I'm looking forward to it.
They're very aggressive.
Yeah.
But no, I just say let the consumers on, man. Open the door. Let them in. I don't see a downside. I don't see anything negative that could happen. I don't see anything being problematic.
But you're right. My initial
the price sheets. Dude,
my initial.
We all work on Keystone margin. Everybody out there, spread the word. The cigar industry works on Keystone margin.
That means if you pay $10 for a cigar,
you bought it for $5.
The guy that sold it to you bought it for $5.
Jesus.
Secrets of the cigar industry exposed.
Yeah, like I just released the biggest secret ever in the cigar industry.
All right.
But you're right.
Breaking news here
when
on
you
KMA
broke
Talk
that,
Radio.
my initial reaction.
That's gonna be the
That's a fair point.
And especially the old school guys. Holy cow, they're gonna have a heart attack with it, right? So somebody's got to hold their hand, massage her.
It's a much better idea than what they came out with.
Well, listen to me. Whether it's a much anything's a much better powdered macaroni and cheese is a much better idea than what they came up with. So let's be realistic.
I think this is the first time the PCA has ever tried.
Just from looking at, hey, look, we'd like to do something fast. that we could throw off without a lot of planning, something very simple that could generate a lot of money, and if we're smart, we could build off it. This is very simple. It's very little to do, very little to organize, and very little to screw up, because you ain't doing nothing but letting them in.
Yeah.
Now you get a good marketing guy who starts planning a couple of extracurricular events that are made just for these guys, you got a grand slam. And it's very simple. It doesn't take a lot of work. What they're talking about, they have no idea the amount of work they're going to have to put into organize this and put it the way they want. No idea. No idea. So, I mean, you know, if anybody out there is listening, you can take my idea, no charge. It's complimentary because I believe in loving the industry.
Wow.
Dude, I've always tried
doesn't
to
even
help.
want credit.
Listen to me, I've always tried to help this industry
Well,
out.
wait, he didn't say he didn't want credit. He just said they didn't have to pay.
I always like credit. I always like credit. I still don't get any credit for starting the CRA other than from Glenn Lou.
He wants.
He's the only guy that acknowledged I had anything to do with the CRA.
You don't know how Coop's going to go present that idea. They're going to credit him with it.
No, Coop's a good reporter. He cites sources.
Yeah, he will get sources. Yeah.
But no, I mean, listen, man. I belong to this industry. I want to see this industry thrive, right? I want to see what's best for this industry. I'm all for it, man. But that's one of the reasons why why are you overreacting?
So in your scenario, consumers don't get cigars?
Listen to me. If you as a manufacturer are talking to consumers and you want to say, hey, would you like a sample? Here you go. That's your prerogative.
So but they're not required. There's no
there's no
trick-or-treating involved.
requirement.
You can just go there and show up.
If it is an FDA issue,
It shouldn't be because you're buying a ticket.
Hold on, listen. I'm not saying whether it is or isn't. Yeah, they are buying a ticket. That really
Buying
does
a
matter.
ticket.
They're buying a ticket to get into the event. As
Just
a
like the
consumer.
Great Smoke.
So, but let's just say it is.
Right.
Let's just say it is. Then you have signs due to the FDA. Consumer badges are welcome to walk the floor, but you cannot get samples. Right? And you just put a sign in there, and you let them know that hold on. You let them know that coming into the floor they can't get samples. But when Eric Espinosa is holding an ancillary party, whatever, that's a ticketed event, you give them boatload of cigars, including the ticket price. You let them get cigars in the other events that aren't on the showroom floor. It's an easy workaround. It really is an easy workaround. In fact, the more I'm talking about this, the more I'm thinking this is the most genius idea regarding this event that I've heard to date.
You know, Abe, the more I'm thinking about it, there's like this idea of a breakout, these breakouts that you're having.
Right.
Is something that, again, that's a great idea.
Well, listen to me, the breakouts could have been done, but the whole thing and their whole argument is let them see the showroom floor, this mecca, this sacred ground that consumers are never
they're going to be disappointed.
On, right?
Yeah.
Let them in.
Look, there is something when you see it the first time. It will get old.
It lasts 15 minutes.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
But there is
as soon
something.
as they realize they got to walk 5 miles to the showroom floor, have them go. All right, where's the bar? Let me find the bar. I need to get beer.
Who hasn't been on a trade show?
Was that a one can't sell imitation?
No. No. One can't sell. Hey, I need to make some old fashions. Anybody got some oranges?
Oh my God.
So, anyways, listen. No, listen to me. If you're a hardcore consumer, passionate dude, if you're a cigar geek and you haven't seen the showroom floor, it's impressive. I remember when my employees, when it was here in Orlando, and I had the opportunity to say, "Hey, you guys, it's in a drivable distance. If you guys want to alternate work with each other, cover each other's shifts, you guys should just come over here in groups. I'll get you in. You can see the showroom." They were blown away by it, right? I mean, they were like, "Whoa, this is amazing," because they never saw it before. But that lasts 15 minutes. So let them in. Let them in. Let them in. Charge them $50 a day. 2 days for $75 or whatever. $300 a day of all week pass, $350, whatever. Let them in. Let them in. I just say let them in. Because I tell you, the show floor is a depressing sight. It is every year. And I haven't been to it in years. I can't imagine what it was this year, right?
Coop's got pictures.
It's a depressing sight. Let's undepress it. Throw a bunch of bodies in there.
I remember somebody said, were they closed when Coop took that picture?
It was that bad. I mean, there were booths that shut down early this year.
Really?
Is that allowed?
No. They were packing the booths.
They were packing up.
They were packing up at 11 o'clock.
At 11 o'clock in the morning.
I've never been to a trade show where they're allowed to do that.
When Dion was up and coming, and all the conspiracy theory was going around, what he was and what he was about, nobody knew. He closed his booth on the second day of the show. Sold out. We have no more cigars to sell. He did. I thought it was hilarious.
Wow.
That was pretty ballsy.
Wow, most of the trade shows I go to, they have such strict rules that you can't present. If you start packing up early, you're out.
They probably do got the rule, but they ain't kicking nobody out.
And they got no one to enforce it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the difference, I guess. Yeah.
But yeah, I like this idea. Hopefully somebody.
You should. It's yours.
Sometimes I don't always think that, as I talk into it, I say, that doesn't work. This is actually
You talk yourself out of some of them?
Yeah, sometimes I talk myself out of it. It wasn't that good of an idea. But the more and more I'm talking about this, it's so simple, so easy, and this solves every problem. The consumers are elated, they get what they want. The manufacturers are elated, they don't have to deal with a show. Because I'm going to tell you something. Literally, this could happen, and the manufacturers wouldn't even know what's going on. They'd go do their business, consumers would walk around, and you'd have the choice whether you'd want to interact with them or not.
Well, and listen, everybody's booth has, when you go sit at a table with a retailer to write that order, there's no consumer that's going to stand over you.
Listen to me.
Watching. There's nobody watches.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. What they're going to do is going to find every table. You want to know what, Jack? You know what? Guess what, Jack? You're not in the middle of doing anything. And you see a bunch of consumers. What are you going to do?
I'm going to go talk to them.
You're going to walk over there. Hey, I'm Jack Toraño. What's going on? You guys here as consumers? I'm telling you, it's getting smarter by the minute. The more I talk about it, the smarter it gets.
Brilliant.
I like it. We'll let Dave Garofalo do a press release and it'll happen.
So, I was going to say.
He's not going.
I love you, Dave. No, I'm just saying. I say stuff, nothing happens.
He might be going now, no?
Dave Garofalo makes a
I haven't heard
any.
He hasn't commented either way on it yet.
Oh, we'll hit him up. We should find out if Dave's going to go now that the cigar con is canceled.
Of course he is. Dave was going to go if it didn't get canceled. Get the heck out of here. I wasn't buying that for a minute.
Smoke and mirrors.
No. Listen to me.
Is he trying to just prove a point?
No. I want to clarify my point before I call Dave out on something, right? I think Dave believes he's not going to go because of it. He's convinced himself this is bullshit, I'm not going to go. But had they not changed, I think before he goes, man, I got to go. Whatever. And he probably would have ended up going. I don't know if he would actually have missed a trade show.
All right.
So,
well,
I don't think he had to go. I mean, you just said the same reason.
We never have to go.
He doesn't have to go, yeah.
Dave doesn't
he doesn't have to go, but Dave's personality compared to my personality, he likes that format. He likes being there. Dave likes being at the trade show.
He's a big guy there,
That's
right?
He likes being there, right? I don't like that. I'm playing duck and roll. I'm hiding. I don't want to be beat up by 8,000 people and whatever. So we have different outlooks, but Dave likes that spotlight. He likes to be there. So, I think Dave would have ended up going. I don't think he was trying to falsely say anything. I think he really believes at this point. Because I've done that where I'm not going. And then it's gotta go. I gotta go. Kind of like you in the weddings. Ooh.
I put my foot down.
Thank you.
I put my foot down for the September wedding. There was another September wedding, and we're not going.
His wife didn't want to go.
Exactly.
It was one of his friends.
Exactly.
It was one of his friends.
Who does he think he's
Are you
bullshitting?
confirming or denying that?
It is not one of my friends. It's one of her friends, and it's in her
Obviously
hometown,
not a
so it would
good
be
one.
easier to get there.
Obviously
but-
not a good one.
Listen, I said we're not going.
Yeah.
We're not going to that one.
I'm the king of my
I bought
castle.
all the tickets for everything else.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come
Are
on.
you master of your own
Wait,
domain?
Wait. I totally believe that Paul said we're not going, but I totally know that they're not going because she's all right with them not going.
Yeah.
That's okay. I still said.
That
I still
just
made
makes
the
you feel
decision.
good.
I still made the decision to not go.
Did we go past 12 o'clock?
Oh, yeah, a long time ago.
What a great show.
Oh, yeah.
What a great show. Have we missed anything? Have we not talked about anything?
The only thing that Coop wanted to briefly touch on were the layoffs in Nicaragua.
So there's a bunch of...
Ooh.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
there's...
that's
This is
interesting.
good.
So
Well,
there-
that's your home base too, right?
What?
Nicaragua.
Oh, well, our factory.
Yeah.
That's it.
Ain't my home base.
That's Espinosa home base.
Right.
Espinosa's
Espinosa's
home base.
home base, yeah.
We laid off no one.
No,
Okay,
there's
good to know.
reports that factory workers have been being laid off in various factories right now, and it's not really clear. We do know that there was some laid off from the AJ Fernandez factory.
Really?
Yeah.
What, did Alta slow down their order?
Most likely that's what's speculated.
Wow.
Not Altus, but the catalog companies, let's say. There are other factories that are getting hit as well with this. So, and it's kind of, there was an article actually in the Nicaraguan newspapers on this right now that's going on with this. But basically saying, hey, there's several factories. I know STG also laid off some people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you, because I didn't see the show, but did you ask, one of the rumors is Nick.
Not true.
Not true?
Not true.
Okay.
Ooh, that was Adam. Look at you. You're ferocious with that
Well, I
answer.
didn't know if you had asked him.
Not true, Jack Toraño.
No, the rumor was he had closed down for a month.
Listen,
No,
man,
that's not
I
true.
don't listen to anything in this
Yeah,
industry
that's
when it
not
comes
true.
to
That's definitely not true.
Though I will say
Yeah.
that I've never been in any other industry or organization where rumors ended up being more true than often in this
Yes.
industry. It is more frequent than anything else, but there's also a plethora of just bullshit rumors.
Yeah, no, that one I will say is not true.
This man is rumor-free.
Yeah.
He is. That's true.
I know.
So, I mean, other than just laying off people, have they
Is the
speculated
import-
on...
Is the import from Nicaragua going down?
It hasn't kind of come out yet, but I think clearly there is a reduction happening right now.
In imported cigars?
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on, with the CI as well. Now having Thompson, some of the demand for production is going down right now. There's a lot of private label stuff that comes out of Nicaragua, and I think that's yeah, and that's what's driving a lot more of this right now. It's clear. So a lot of factories stay in business because of the private label piece. You think about some of these smaller factories.
Listen to me. I think the mistake that's made, especially with guys like AJ and whatnot, right? Especially when they have this influx of demand that happens, right? You have this influx of demand, and you try to meet it, so you can optimize as much revenue as you can. But eventually, what happens is, and you have experience in looking at factory, that influx eventually levels out. And when it does level out, what do you do with all those rollers you hired to meet the demand? Where do they go?
Home.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like there's another huge industry in Esteli. Yeah.
How? I mean, it's very because that's a lot of people being laying off rollers, which is just already you have an economy where they're barely surviving as it is.
Yeah.
I wonder what's going to happen there.
It's something we have to keep an eye on right now.
Well, I think the demand has to catch up with the supply that was shipped here.
A lot.
This market, the United States was flooded with cigars with all these people. So they kind of held back and said, "Listen, we're overstocked on this. You gotta ease up a little bit."
I also do think there's been an absurd rush. You've been very quiet this show, dude. Are you awake?
Well, no, I'm awake. It's just I'm trying to talk over people.
He's also freezing. He's very cold.
Oh, are you cold?
I'm a little chilly.
Well, that calls for a beer.
Thank you, Colin.
Can you see if we got Blanky in there for
Give me a sweater.
the Brewmeister?
That'd be great. Can I get a
What was
Brewmeister
the one
sweater?
that had sleeves? What was that blanket?
Snuggie.
Snuggie.
Yeah.
Wow.
Snuggie.
Okay.
That came and went quick.
But I think there was also a plethora of people rushing to make brands that they wanted to get out in the market.
2016.
Yeah. So
I still think it's more the catalog and the private label stuff driving this, though. To get that level of
But let
number.
me ask something. What's the theory on to why CI or Thompson's would slow out their house brands? They still have them just because there's a merger. They bought them. It's not like, we're going to take all of Thompson's house brands that have been built over the last 30 years and just stop making them. I don't understand. Why would that slow down? Look, these companies, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, they thrive on making their own house brands, right? They don't make money selling the premium stuff that I sell or most other guys sell. That's not where their money's at, right? Because that's not where they can be competitive, right? They're not going to be competitive selling Davidoff, Padron, or any brand that has a reputable reputation of just not letting it be discounted and hoarded to death, right? They make money by luring people in, right? Making these uber samplers that they can get data, and then they work their way into, hey, we have this brand that's made for us by Rocky Patel. Buy this because we're the only shop that has it, and it's a lot of times even with some of these companies it's just a licensing deal. Rocky or whoever it is not even making that brand. They're paying a per stick charge to use the name, and they're having their brand made, and they're
Or a lot of time it's just, Rocky said this in the factory. You go to Rocky's factory, there's stuff that becomes his premium lines, and then there's stuff that maybe isn't graded as good that he sells under another name.
I get it, but there's also a lot of people, and I'm not saying Rocky does this, but I know for a fact that some people do. They just license the name to CI, right? You want to go make a $2 stick with my name on it, you give me quarter a stick. CI has it all made, done, packaging. They're not even involved in the process. So that's where their bread and butter is at, right? So why would I mean, unless you may not know, why is the private label business shrinking then?
Well, if let's say, let's go with JR, they decide they're going to order 20% less.
I just don't know if it's shrinking as much as that they're overstocked.
They bought too much.
They bought too much.
Okay.
Competition
that makes
lowers
sense to
the
me.
price.
Or if I may.
And companies with that type of buying power said, hell, you can get it to us for a quarter less a stick. Give us 300,000 cigars. Give us this amount of cigars. And they got flooded with inventory.
That makes sense.
And you have bigger companies. And you have bigger companies right now that they that don't
Damn,
want to
Abe,
keep
we
this
agreed
stuff.
on something else.
You don't want to have this stuff. Like the bigger companies, when they look at stuff sitting in the warehouse, it raises a red flag to them. That's
Yes.
like they look at that
Absolutely.
as that's a cost, right? So they have to explain that to the bean counters, saying, "Why do you have this stuff in there?" So what do? Instead of producing more stuff, let's go through some of this inventory you have and get it down before that.
I'm sure.
Can we also not?
200,000 Robustos?
Yeah.
Can we also not say that this might be a ripple effect from last year's demonstrations and the rioting, where everybody was like, we don't know if we're going to be able to get cigars out, so everybody stocked up excessively
that
on
makes sense.
cigars.
Maybe.
So then everybody was worried.
That's a very good point, actually.
Everybody was worried we're not going to have cigars.
You
We
don't
better
say
get them
much,
out.
but when you
Oh,
open
yeah.
this up,
I was going to say the
golden
same thing.
nugget.
Although Saka was on here telling us when that was going on, he's like, I'm fine, I'm going in and out, no problem.
And
Remember?
don't buy my cigars.
Yes.
It's not really
Yes.
good.
They're not really good. Don't buy them.
Yes. That's funny.
Adam, that was impressive.
Yeah,
You
that's
haven't
first
said
thing-
a word.
first thing
in
the whole
2
show.
hours and 21 minutes.
That's fantastic.
Hits it with a solid point.
Solid.
Looks like Ron Cancel woke up.
he
Would have been that sports show that gives you points. Bing, 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 bing.
Yes,
Jack,
I
where are you
appreciate
going
that.
to be at? What do you got going on?
I will be everywhere, Abe. Next week I'm in Spokane, Washington. From there I got Buffalo. I got I don't know. I'm everywhere.
Well, you're
My
staying
calendar.
cool then.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to start getting cold. I'll be back in Chicago soon. I'll be everywhere. I'm doing events with all the reps and all our brokers and hitting the road.
You know, I just heard about this late, but I want to bring it up before we go out because I just find it very, very interesting. Did anybody hear about the Alabama school shooting?
No.
There was an Alabama school shooting?
Earlier in the week.
Is this not mind-blowing? A kid at a high school football game shot 10 people, and it's nowhere. No one's talking. Google it.
Yeah.
Wait, didn't a girl die?
No, there was no deaths. There was no deaths from history.
No, that was the thing last
in
week.
the same week in Alabama, I think some kid shot his parents, his whole family, 5 people or whatever, something. There was 2 or 3 shootings in Alabama this week, but one was a school shooting.
This happened. What happened to her? It was, but everyone was talking hurricane.
Okay, the country's bigger than the hurricane. Go Google it. There's no news stories on it. I tried to find out what kind of gun he used. Now, what shooting story doesn't mention the gun that's being used? I find it eerily odd. First off, it wasn't a white supremacist, so there's a problem, nothing to talk about.
Right.
My odds are, and why I wanted to look, he shot 10 people, I pretty much guarantee you probably wasn't an AK or a semi-automatic, whatever, which, once again, blows a lot of problems and whatever. But are you Googling it, Paul, or what?
You hit 10 people with an AK, you're going to kill at least one of them.
That's what I'm saying.
This is a week ago this happened. This is
in
not,
the last week.
Yeah, this is not.
Nobody I know knows about it. This is a school shooting.
10 people were.
At a football people, 10 people got shot.
Right.
And nobody is talking about it.
Wasn't it like a gang thing at a football game or something like that?
It was at a football game, and they believed that he had an issue with one of the other people that were there. But regardless, this was a school shooting. How is nobody talking about this?
Nobody died?
Nobody died?
Does it really take somebody to die? 10 people got shot and hospitalized.
If I made a quote Kelsey Grammer, if it bleeds, it leads.
It bled.
But I don't think it bled enough.
Okay, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Fine, it didn't bleed enough. How is there barely any stories on the internet? Why has no one mentioned the type of weapon? I tried finding it. I couldn't find anything about what kind of weapon he used. It's eerily odd.
Because I think it was this guy didn't go out to target a bunch of random people because of his beliefs in something. This was some in school, and it was at a football game.
Are you
not
really
at the
going to
school.
try to tell me how a school shooting, regardless of the reason, is not newsworthy?
I'm not telling you it's not newsworthy.
But you don't think there's...
I think there was bigger news out there.
You don't think there's any political
Unfortunately.
motivation as to why this story didn't get covered?
I honestly think it was the weather thing that overtook it.
I don't...
I think the people were obsessed with this hurricane in the east.
I agree.
Okay.
Shall I get you a tinfoil hat?
I can give you that locally, right? But who in California gave a crap about the hurricane?
It was being run on the national newscast all week.
I get it.
Right.
I get it. But the internet is big. Google the stories. There's barely any stories. It's not even an easy news story to find.
Yeah, it
in
is. I have them all. NPR, New York Times, USA Today.
What?
There's all articles.
I mean,
ABC
about what?
News. about the school shooting.
We
in
didn't
Alabama.
have the week-long gun
I'm just telling you, I Googled it.
Yeah.
Those came up more recently in the last
I
few days. But open them up. Look how little the articles are. They barely talk about it. I'm just telling you.
But I'm almost like relieved that we didn't have another week-long gun control debate. It goes nowhere. That debate goes nowhere.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I just find it odd. I think had it been a white supremacist or some whatever, somebody that fit the current profile of all their problems, that stuff would have been blown up everywhere. That's the issue I have with it. I'm in utter shock about it. Utter shock. You finding a lot of good nuggets over there?
Nothing more than what you were talking about.
Right?
There's not a lot on
it's
it.
Not. It's absurdly, very vaguely written about. Absurdly, abnormal. Why are you laughing?
Because I don't think it's absurdly abnormal. It's just.
It's.
I mean, there's.
You're weird. Not normal.
Especially not for a story like
should
that.
have the same coverage as a guy that opens fire into a bunch of people watching a concert.
Okay, look to me.
And kills
I'm
30.
not saying it should have the same coverage at all. I'm just saying that's eerily weird little coverage.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not saying it should have the same
Nobody
coverage.
died.
Wait, I'm not saying it should be as covered or uncovered. I'm just saying I can't believe I bring this up and nobody's even heard of it. Right? Not that nobody's talking about it. He's having trouble even finding data on it on Google. I'm telling you, it's just not weird. That's all. That was my point. Oddly enough, we can move on.
Okay, moving on.
One of our listeners said one word: aliens. Oh, I'm sorry.
Juan Cancel.
That was Juan Cancel who just woke up.
Of course.
Juan can't ship.
Juan can't ship.
Oh boy.
Juan can't sell.
Juan can't sell. Yeah.
Guy tried to buy a McLobster at 2 in the morning in Rhode Island. Was thrown off the line.
What
They
happened?
sell a McLobster?
So apparently, this is because I was up in Rhode Island a couple weeks ago, and Juan had been there the week before, and he wanted to get a McLobster, which is
Is that actually a thing?
Yes.
Okay, they sell a McLobster at McDonald's?
We're going up to see Mike Bellady next week.
It's seasonal. It's seasonal, and it's also available in parts of Canada, but it's very seasonal.
And is it like just a lobster roll?
It's a lobster roll.
Okay.
Oh,
And
God, I'm
he
sure
went
it's disgusting.
He went in Rhode Island to a McDonald's at like 2 in the morning and tried to order a McLobster.
And they didn't have it available?
And they didn't have it available. And apparently he got a little upset, and they actually removed him and his sales rep from the line at the drive-in.
Hear it first with Cigar
That is the first story I think I've ever heard of someone getting kicked out of the McDonald's
So I
line.
go off to Rhode Island, and everyone's talking about
Did
Juan
Coop break?
Cancel.
I mean, did Juan Cancel break the story to you?
No, apparently, but his rep confirmed the story.
Juan Cancel has a rep in Rhode Island.
Well, he's got someone he uses as a rep in Rhode Island.
That's funny.
Right?
He's on a tear, man. He is on a tear.
He's been removing Facebook pictures because he posts like
real bad drunk pictures.
inappropriate drunk pictures.
Yeah, fake.
And then all of a sudden the next day they're gone. I went
believe
to
it.
send you one because Evan
should
Darnell from the
screenshot
Red
it.
Meat Lovers
You gotta
Club
screenshot it.
commented it on it.
Well,
and I forgot the screenshot, and then it was gone when I went to
Coop's
send it.
IPCPR recap was preempted because he made the Cigar Vixen's top 5 list 2 weeks in a row.
That's funny.
True story.
That's funny. He's a trip.
Oh, that is fantastic.
He is a character. No! Wait, was that you in
No,
real life?
it was Colin.
No, that was me.
He's
I
got you
just
saying
realized
it
it.
more?
Colin's got your wow and his face. It's so cute.
That's a different. That's fantastic.
Yeah,
that
that was a lower one than the. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I still, but he does it so well. I never really know if it's him
I
or
thought
you
that
guys.
was Adam. That's
Yeah, or
I
you
thought
guys
it was
during
too.
the
I
show.
thought it was.
That was me.
Colin's got. That was a recording of you.
No. I literally said it, looked over at Colin, and was like, I can't believe I just said it
Oh,
again.
okay.
Oh.
All right. I thought it was.
Nope.
Oh my God, we have to get out of here.
Yep. We're
All
getting a
right.
little store
I'm
crazy.
out of it.
Let's see who belongs in a cigar insane asylum this week.
Welcome to the Cigar Asylum,
Did you know I'm utterly insane? We all go a little mad sometimes.
where logic and reason cease to exist.
This week, who belongs in a cigar insane asylum, brought to you by CLE and Asylum Cigars.
All right. Somebody make sure they tag Evan Darnell of the Red Meat Lovers Club in this post, because maybe he can organize like some big. Where is this? Oh, Australia. Not happening.
Somebody's already doing it.
Yeah. So this week's inductee takes the vegan movement to new heights. Celia Cardin of Perth, Australia, took her case to the Supreme Court of Western Australia, citing that her neighbor's barbecuing is affecting her way of life. Yep. The vegan is complaining about the smell of meat and fish emanating from their barbecues. Cardin says it's deliberate. All I can smell is fish, and I can't enjoy my backyard. The Supreme Court also rejected her claims in July, dismissing the case. Cardin had filed nearly 600 pages of documents in her appeal of the case, and now meat eaters from around Australia want to have barbecues surrounding her home in protest. Well, congratulations, Ms. Cardin. You are this week's inductee into the Cigar Insane Asylum, brought to you by CLE and Asylum Cigars.
She's apparently appealing again.
Now, I didn't hear about the Alabama shooting, but I did hear that story.
Yeah.
Yes. Did you really?
Yeah.
I
swear.
Oh, yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
All right.
Mostly because everybody was heckling the Crown Heads rep Brian McGee because they.
He's a vegan?
Closet vegan.
Listen to me.
How can you be a closet vegan?
Because
So they just think he's a vegan?
They think he's a vegan.
No.
He's not really a
Listen,
vegan.
here's my stance. I really, absolutely, positively could care less if anyone's a vegan.
It's
We
when
have
they
breaking news.
What?
Antonio Brown was released.
Eric Espinosa Jr. is asking if Jack brought us any pastries today.
Hell no.
As is customary for everyone. As is customary from everyone from Espinosa.
Oh no, he didn't. Yeah, we didn't. He didn't. But he bought goodies.
He brought
I don't want to see Abe in a dress. So I was not bringing.
Oh, good move. There you
I
go.
once brought the Mojo Donut stuff.
What happened?
Grace Sotolongo bought me Mojo Donuts, and I brought them over to last night to the cigar shop we were at.
Well, I didn't bring it to our cigar shop.
Well, they didn't make it out.
You could have stopped by this morning on your way in.
I will make sure.
So,
If you were a good correspondent.
Are you on a diet?
Abe, who's going to be wearing the dress?
You'll find out. Somebody, one of us.
Wait, do you want to hear what Coop thinks?
What?
I'm sorry. I think you're the favorite to wear the dress.
Oh, really? All right.
Abe, Saka is obsessed with this. I'm just saying. I think Nimish has had some success. You have your work cut out.
Nimish is up 12 pounds last time we talked.
Okay, but what about you?
Oh wow.
I'm up about 10 pounds.
You're not dieting.
But no, me and Nimish both aren't dieting. We're starting like this
So Saka, where's Saka?
Saka, I can't trust him. So Nimish and I are blatantly honest about where
Saka
we're
looked thin when I saw him at the trade show.
Okay, he looked thinner, but I don't believe Saka. I can't say that.
Who's arbitering? Who's the referee in this?
It doesn't matter. We know what the goal was when we originally were supposed to make the first part of the bet. So we know the starting barometer is, and then we're weighing in at my house, so we'll know where everybody really stands.
Okay. But you're the winner in this thing because you're getting the event at your store.
Absolutely. I'll wear a dress. I got guys flying in for this country for this event.
Is there any chance that you'd wear a dress? That you would have to wear a dress? Do you think that there's any chance that you could lose?
Chance. Well,
you don't seem too confident.
I don't think I'm wearing a dress.
Okay.
I don't think I'm wearing a dress.
Let this false rumor that Eric Jr. is spreading on this thread that he gave me money to bring pastries.
Oh wow!
Let it die right here.
But I didn't even get a cigar company.
He's making it worse.
That man's never given me money to buy it.
Holy cow!
He did bring pastries a couple weeks ago when he came out.
He told me about it yesterday. I said, but listen, what am I going to show up with pastries? Abe is in some sort of contest.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
We'll have Mojo Donuts in November. When I'm back.
All right.
Okay, this has been a fantastic show. Jack, thanks for being here.
Down, man. Great show.
Coop, thanks for being in town. We're glad you were
Thanks,
here.
Coop.
Thank you.
It's been a fascinating show. If you missed any part of it, make sure you check out the KMA Talk Radio Facebook page for all the highlights and everything else that happened today. Till next week, and as always, keep it lit.
You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Cigar Fairy's making rounds.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Keep it lit.